Prepare yourself.
Oh, this is the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Hello again and welcome to the Cathedral of Wisdom. And just new breaking news coming in right now from Gotham City. Breaking news. Batman does not smell, but Robin did lay an egg. And the Joker got away.
He always does.
He always does.
Oh. How are you, Timmy D?
Welcome to the Ninja Troll Digicast. I am Tim Dixon along with Mike Worth.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, friends. Another rendition.
That's right, a stirring rendition. That's old school right there.
That is.
Coming up this
Stirring
week.
rendition. The Turville accent. You got to do it.
Coming up this week, we're going to go back to the multiverse. We're going to visit 0 Hour.
Yes.
This week in our Exploring the Multiverse segment. This one is 90s goodness all the way.
Oh, man. I'm glad you wore your Cavaricis. We talked about
that.
Yes.
Thank
you. And your pair of British Knights. Excellent.
Cavaricis and
Sergio
like
Tacchini.
I'm doing both. I've got like plaid. I'm going half grunge, half preppy.
I'm wearing a silk shirt and a suede jacket.
And a very thin tie.
Yeah. Actually, no, I'm wearing one of those, the ones that the Texans wear, the ranchers.
Oh, wow, a bolo tie. Nice.
There you go. And I think I might have that belt, too.
Right,
I can't see, though. I can't see.
We're going to take a look at 0 Hour, Crisis in Time, in our Exploring the Multiverse. This is more of a timeline thing than a multiverse, though. Although it kind of touches those as well, and it harkens back to the Crisis itself.
It does.
Crisis on Infinite Earth. So
it does.
This one's a complicated one. Anytime you go with time travel, it starts to give you a headache after a little bit.
It does. I mean, the time travel is the main thread, and then the multiverse, we sort of go left and right, but mostly our momentum is forward and back.
Yeah.
Whereas the Crisis is left and right, and sometimes forward and back.
And all over the joint. Yeah. So.
Right.
And also, in this is a surprise for you. You didn't even know this till right now.
What?
In our showcase, in honor of Hanukkah.
Oh my God! What are we doing?
This week's showcase,
Hanukkah Harry,
is a showcase on
I don't want to hear
Jewish superheroes.
Jewish,
yes, Jewish superheroes.
Superheroes,
yes.
The only one I know of is Sabra.
Oh,
Marvel.
There's actually plenty, and this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun because there's one I found that is just awesome all the way.
Like a Samson type, like
kind of, yeah.
Cool, strong.
Actually, Doc Samson from the Incredible Hulk. He's Jewish.
Well,
see, there you go.
Hava Nagila.
Exactly, yeah. So
you schmagega yenta nudnik.
Oh, now you're getting.
You've done it. Can you believe it?
It's my sugar.
No, you're my sugar.
Well, whatever.
Nachas.
And also,
I take us to the tchotchkes. We'll rename tidbits to tchotchkes.
The tchotchkes, that's right. Yeah. But we also got a lot of news in our comic rack, and we've talked about this for a couple of weeks. I've gotten my comic bento box.
Oh, we're gonna open it.
Which is a service that sends you trade paperbacks and graphic novels. And I'm actually going to open it on the air here. I have no idea what's in it. I'm still trying to decide if I want to continue the service. So this may have a big.
This will be the deciding factor.
Yeah, this may be the deciding factor.
Judge, jury, and execution.
Although they've already charged me for next month. So at the very least, there's one more month.
Well, let's do this, right? So if you open this one and it's like, and you're like, all right, I'll cancel the service for the next month, and then let's open the next one.
Yeah.
And then watch. It's going to be amazing.
It'll be amazing. Yeah. So
that's very exciting.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see what's in it and do it live on the air. And also in our movie and TV news, we're going to take a look back at our TV shows. We hit a lot of mid-season finales.
Yes.
Or we're starting to hit a lot of mid-season finales. We've got Arrow tonight. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was last night, although I didn't watch it.
Flash
was last night.
Which I didn't watch. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But it was very, very good. So,
cool.
And in our, like you said, our tchotchkes section here, the first one it's a sad tchotchke. I don't even know if that's something you can qualify tchotchkes or what.
Yeah, we're gonna sit
not.
Shiva for this man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Martin E. Brooks, who played Dr. Rudy Wells on the $6 Million Man, has passed away at the age of 90.
Ooh.
And that was Chuck Charles is actually in mourning now because that was he
loves $6 million.
Yeah, and according to him, Dr. Wells was like right below Steve Austin.
Whoa.
It was, yeah, he was, Steve Austin was the coolest because he was the Bionic Man.
Yeah.
But Dr. Wells made him.
Wow.
So he was like right underneath him as far as coolness. So yeah, he's officially in mourning now.
Oh.
So
Sorry, Chuck Charles.
But I looked the guy up. He was actually in a lot of different things.
Yeah.
He was kind of like a character actor. And he was in,
But he's most well known for.
well, at least to us.
Okay.
He was in a couple. I think he was in a couple soap operas as well.
Okay.
But yeah, he did a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he looks familiar.
Yeah. So yeah, as soon as you see him, he's one of those. I always call it, hey, it's that guy. You don't know what his name is, but every time you see him, it's it's that guy. You know,
from the Thing.
yeah, exactly.
The guy, the other guy.
Yeah. Not him, the other guy.
Yeah.
So
Ooh,
yeah,
I love his sort of like stash.
oh, the stash.
The
Yeah,
stash is classic. I can't tell if he's evil or good.
it probably could be either. So.
Either way, it's one of those either way stashes.
Exactly. It's not just
It's a good cop, bad cop stash.
all in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he passed away at the age of 90 this week. So, also Norman Reedus at last week's New Jersey's Walker Stalker Con, which is actually Walker Stalker is like a series of ones that they have in different places. He was actually bitten this past weekend.
By somebody?
Yes, somebody was in line to take a picture and bit him, tried to bite him.
Oh.
And
And did he Daryl him to the ground?
no,
and
security descended and grabbed the person and drug him off. And he actually posted on his social media. He photoshopped a picture of him in full Daryl gear, and he photoshopped "Do not bite me" across the chest.
Nice.
So he kind of took it
In stride somewhat.
Yeah, and made a joke out of it. But it was, you think about it, some of these people get a little carried away.
Yeah.
And
It'd be so strange to see Daryl back up because the actor would be like, "Whoa, don't touch me!"
Yeah,
and the
but
security
Daryl
would come
be
in.
all
Daryl would go for
he'd
it.
be rednecking up.
That
and,
person would be
and
done.
going for
Yeah,
it.
right. They'd be limping back.
Yeah. There was the moment when this was last season. Do you remember Bob?
Yeah.
The one that ended up
He
being
died-
tainted meat.
Yeah.
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 When he stole he stole a liquor bottle from
Right.
someplace
And then he got drunk. On it.
and Daryl found it, and he actually went up and got forehead to forehead with him, and was like, "If you cause any of us to get hurt because you did this stuff, I'm
Yeah.
gonna end you." And I was like, "Now that's redneck Daryl right there."
Oh, I'm gonna end you.
He's come a long way in his character development,
Right.
but that was full on Georgia redneck right there. He was all up in his face.
Oh man, that's great.
But yeah. And also, I have a nerd correction for myself last week.
For what'd you say?
I was when we were talking about the Stormtrooper
the
TK,
weapon?
I was saying TK 427. It's actually TK 421.
Oh.
Was the Stormtrooper that Luke beat up and took his uniform.
2K421. 2K421.
See? Yeah.
Looks like we got a bad communicator.
That's right. Yeah, that was. I was saying 427, and actually listening back to it, I went, "Wait a minute, that's not right."
Timmy, punch yourself in the face.
I know. I have repeatedly since then, since I've realized it. But the important thing is, I caught it, and nobody else did. So
Well, good.
course-
That's a good journalist you are.
now people are going to be analyzing everything I say.
Everything
to go,
you say.
"Ooh, I get him."
Yeah. Mon Mothra.
Oh God, I still think that was hilarious.
That was.
It
man.
was the greatest Freudian slip ever.
It really is. It's a whole new idea we need to explore.
And also something I saw on thinkgeek.com this week. They've just I think it's been up there a while, but they're starting to push it because the movie's coming
Yeah,
out.
we're a couple of weeks away now, right?
They have several different USB ports, or not ports, but charging things that you can have for your car.
Oh, cool.
You plug in into the cigarette lighter,
Yep.
and it charges multiple USB items.
Cool.
They've got one that is R2D2. They also have one that is the Death Star. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because when you plug in a USB device to the Death Star, there's a little green light that turns on, and you hear Grand Moff Tarkin say, "You may fire when ready."
Oh, awesome.
And I was like, okay, I need that now.
Oh, man.
I really need that. So, and Think Geek is just, oh man, their stuff is awesome. It's so awesome.
Imagine being on the product line for that item and being like,
testing them.
what's it gonna say? And then you like walk in and you're like, you may fire when ready. And then they're like, sold.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right,
yeah,
the Geek executives.
That's absolutely.
Oh, that sounds
sold
really cool.
Immediately, yeah.
Awesome.
And an Etsy user, which if you don't know what Etsy is a website where people can sell their own goods that they make.
Yeah.
An Etsy user has 3D printed and is selling replicas of the melted down Darth Vader helmet.
Awesome.
That is being used in The Force Awakens.
Right. Right. That Kylo Ren worships.
Yeah, and I think they're about 3 to 4 inches.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a little thing that you could like set
it's
on your
scaled
desk.
replica.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And they say I haven't looked at their site, but I heard that they sell like modified batarangs and stuff like that too.
Awesome.
So if they're 3D printing this stuff, I don't know. We actually went to
Hackerspace.
Hackerspace, thank you.
Yeah.
That has a 3D printer, and the guy was saying that it's usually kind of more of a pain in the butt to 3D print something than you would think.
Yeah.
Sounds like it'd be really cool.
It's hard, yeah.
But it's hard, yeah. So if they've nailed it down though, and they're able to, get the stuff.
I mean, a batarang doesn't seem too bad, right? Because remember he said that the hardest thing was overhangs. So if you wanted to make something that like had an overhang, you had to build like a buttress essentially to hold it up. So I mean, a batarang's kind of flat, right? And maybe has the little bit of topical.
A little bit of a bevel, yeah.
Exactly. So then you probably sand the rest of it, you know. And then,
that's true.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, yeah. But the melted down helmet, that might be. I would think that would be difficult because it's.
How do you make that? How do you start? What's the positive that you get the mold from?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess he must have done something that
he probably
he was able to output
3D modeled it. He did it in
off a photo of some sort.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
We've had the picture in the trailer
several times now.
Yeah, so I guess you could analyze that and come up with a 3D model. And if it's 3 to 4 inches, it doesn't have to be all that intricate.
Nah, I mean,
so
I bet it's super cool though.
Oh yeah, it probably looks really cool.
So. I would wake up every day and be like, I will finish what you have started.
Exactly. I will go to work and I will finish what you started.
And then in the background, I'd be like, take out the trash.
Just get out of here.
Yeah.
And also, this is something we saw today. Star Wars: The Evolution of the Lightsaber.
Yeah.
Is a special that will be hosted by Mark Hamill. It will air on ESPN.
Yeah.
That was a little surprising. But it will air on December 15th at 7 p.m.
Well, we saw the little featurette for it, and there's a lot of stuff where they're talking about swordplay, and I think they showed a lot of sporting.
The martial art kendo,
right?
Which is a Japanese martial art that is centered around swordplay, and they use bamboo swords called kendo sticks, or shinais is actually the Japanese word for it, and they have very elaborate armor that they wear that is reminiscent of samurais, and that's what a lot of the sword fighting in the original trilogy was more based on like a European style of sword play.
Yeah, right, like foils and sabers.
It also did have some of the elements of kendo woven into it, and then the prequel trilogy really had a lot more of the Eastern martial art kind of sword play,
right? With Darth Maul, I mean,
yeah.
It was
and Ray
like
Park played Darth Maul, and he is, I think he's got 4 different black belts.
Damn.
In different styles.
He was amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely amazing.
Still a shame, like you say, that they killed him off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Maul would have been great if he lasted.
Yeah, and we were actually talking about that earlier. Mike asked me if I thought Kylo Ren would be killed off in this one. I gotta hope not.
No, right?
You know, introduce a good. That would be like killing Darth Vader.
Yeah,
in A New Hope.
Right.
That would suck.
Totally. I mean,
so yeah. So I hope they keep him around because it's obvious that this is not going to stop with just this movie. So there's no reason to have that resolution of. And I don't understand why that's always a thing in Hollywood where they have to kill off the villain instead of just apprehending
he gets
him
knocked
or
out
something
in space. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only time they don't do that is horror movies, so they can get 10 of them.
So they can get exactly. Yeah.
But
they can always bring them back from the dead. So
absolutely, yeah. Halloween, right? Famous for But the in the featurette we saw like some of the armor, and one of the things we were talking about was that like, wow, Vader really looks like a Shogun warrior with a Shogun helmet. If you just do a Google search for a Shogun helmet, I found one that's Darth Vader.
It looks
and it looks almost like what he has. So it's like, what great sort of inspiration for these characters.
The samurai helmets were very elaborate and and they're meant to strike fear into
life out of you.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that was where the idea for that mask came from for Vader. So, right. And that's kind of it was always, as a kid, I never understood why they had these gigantic flares on the back of their helmets.
Well, protect your neck, right?
Exactly. That's the samurai had it like that, so it would protect their neck from sword strikes.
But Vader don't need that.
They didn't need that.
He's gonna lose his head no matter what.
Yeah. So, it was fun to see how much they got, and it was a lot of behind the scenes stuff with George Lucas talking about how he evolved the lightsaber duels as he went through the trilogy.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, the first one we see is Obi-Wan and Vader. They're old. They have to modify their style to fit what they can do physically. And that was one of the biggest things that I wanted from Episode 1 when it came out. I wanted to see a fully functioning Jedi.
Right.
Not a broken down. I mean, Obi-Wan was still cool, but he was an old man. I didn't want to see an old man or somebody who was, as Obi-Wan called it, more machine than man.
Right.
I wanted to see a fully functioning Jedi. And I got that. And that was, they were much more dynamic. They were doing things. Instead of just deflecting a laser bolt, just deflecting away, they deflected it straight back.
Right.
They had these elements where Luke was kind of, he was trained by Yoda, but it was almost like a correspondence course. It's like you was training yourself at home, Jedi.
It's really true. Yeah, he's like, you go in the woods by yourself. All right, come on, you figure it out.
So yeah, it was.
Bring me a soda.
Yeah, I wanted to see like the actual training organization set up and have fully trained, fully functional Jedi.
When like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan's first when they were about to do the Duel of the Fates sort of thing. That was great. With the 2 on the 1 and blocking both. That couldn't have been a better scene. And Qui-Gon getting cut.
Oh,
It's like, whoa. Made a Maul really dangerous.
Yeah.
Of
course, then he just got offed.
I know. It was the head.
And that was the thing. I was like, you haven't earned that. If he had started to beat Darth Maul down because he was using his anger,
right,
then maybe you earned that. But it was just kind of a goofy little...
Yeah, like he just... and then he overcame him. Yeah.
And actually, he had fallen and was hanging. He came up from the thing and just cut him in half, and it was just like, okay, what? That wasn't you didn't earn it. Sorry.
Yeah. And they could have kept Maul, and I think he would have been interesting because Dooku was just sort of dumb. It was like, what's his name? Who played him?
Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee, right?
Yeah.
Classic actor. He wasn't moving. He's right up there with Alan McGinnis, right?
Yeah.
Or Guinness, sorry. It's such a and his like weirdly shaped thing. He's like, oh, I will do this weird style.
Yeah, his lightsaber hilt was curved.
Yeah, it was.
It almost looked
weird.
like a bone. It was weird. Yeah.
It
was like the jawbone of an ass or something. I don't know. Then we go back to Samson again.
But it makes sense, I guess, that ESPN. Damn, you Timmy. That they'll do this because of all the sport that is surrounding this, right? In Japan and in parts of the U.S. and in Europe, where they do all this sort of competitive sword play.
Yeah.
All right, what's the name of it again?
Kendo.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah, it's a thriving martial art in Japan. So
that's December.
Let me tell you, those the Shinai Kendo sticks, they hurt. They hurt bad. Because it's 4 pieces of bamboo tightly wrapped together.
I got whacked by my little child with a tomato bamboo stick, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to ever be caned or something like that. So this is on ESPN December 15th, right at 7 p.m.
Yes, and it's hosted by Mark Hamill. So
that's where we will be.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you think he'll do the trickster voice?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah. Speaking of that, let's just move right into movie and TV news. Last night was the mid-season finale for the Flash.
Nice.
We got not one, not two, but 3 villains.
Awesome.
Actually, 4 if you count Zoom.
Oh, because he did show up.
So he did show up. Yeah.
Give us a little summary, Tim, since you watched it.
Weather Wizard breaks Captain Cold and Trickster out of jail.
Okay. Out
of Iron Heights.
Oh, they're in Iron Heights now. They're not in the particle collider anymore. The rogues.
No, they were in. They were actually
proper jail.
In proper jail. Yeah.
Okay.
And well, if you think about, they're not powered. Captain Cold and Trickster aren't powered. So yeah, he breaks them out. He breaks Captain Cold out because he said he owed him. But Trickster, what he called it, what he said, this guy, he's just fun. Because, I mean, and Mark Hamill, again, over the top, just absolutely awesome as the Trickster.
Was it Twizzlers?
Yes, he had, as soon as he showed up, he had the Twizzlers. And it was just, he was just so much fun. So much fun. It's crazy how well he does that.
Is there great comedy in the episode then?
Yes, there was several little moments like that provided by him mostly.
Awesome.
And he's absolutely nuts. and that's the thing. He knows that he's insane, and he just revels in it.
Nice.
And Wentworth Miller, who plays Captain Cold, I continue to absolutely love his character. But he is given a moment to where he can join with the Rogues, and fight the Flash. But he goes and tells Barry that they're out and they're gunning for him. But when Barry comes home with Iris and Snart is sitting there in his living room with a reindeer mug, drinking coffee, he's not real happy. But he basically, he kind of says, okay, Barry says, oh, you did the right thing. He kind of like says, hey, you're not really a bad guy anymore. You're fighting on the right side, because he comes and tells Barry, and then he's not seen again for the rest. So he's not with them.
Okay.
He comes and warns Barry, and then just kind of disappears.
So that's setting up for Legends of Tomorrow, right?
So he's out now.
Cool.
So he's not put back in jail. So this is where, like you said, his setting is going to set up to where he's out, so he's able to join up with them. But
it'd be interesting to see how they set that up, how he joins.
And he begins in the trailer. We've seen several times him saying, hero's not on my resume, and he actually, I think, not quite the exact same words, but he kind of says that to Barry as well. Even though he keeps saying that, he still does things
that are
that are good guys. And Barry says, he said, you're doing what is right. That's called honor. And he says, I'm not a hero. But even though, like I said, he says he's not, he still does the things that he knows is right.
Wow.
Because, he is motivated by profit. He wants to make a profit. But
that's how he's classically ever been.
Yeah.
Was there this Legends of Tomorrow? Is it based on any? Is it the Time Lords?
I don't think is there any specific. Because I don't remember of any group that was like that group.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know of White Canary being a character in the comics
ever.
I don't think.
Yeah. This is the first time I've seen her.
Yeah, unless it just completely slipped by me. But the show itself, The Legends of Tomorrow, looks like a lot of fun because they're out of time, and so that right there is going to give you plenty of kind of wacky.
Do what you want.
Things, yeah. And I think he goes and or they at least tease that he goes and finds himself as a kid to kind of push him in the right direction or motivate him, or because they had him and his sister had an abusive childhood.
Yeah, right.
With
Michael Ironside. Right?
Yeah, Major Cold as as Cisco called him, just basically being a jerk. So he would go. I think he went and visited himself as a kid.
Oh, to say like hang in there.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, he is
showing.
Ruin
him anyway. It's going to make him into a hero.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, again, he keeps doing stuff that kind of shows that he does have honor, and his delivery, Miller, the guy who plays him, his delivery is just absolutely awesome. He's very slow and methodical when he says things. He just I don't know why.
It's a little annoying though. Sometimes.
It can be a little annoying, but he's just a smarmy bastard.
Yeah.
I mean, and Trickster at one point is making puns on their two names, and he tells him, "Don't get in a snort." It's funny. But Zoom shows up at the end.
Oh, cool.
And you get a little more insight into Earth 2's Harrison Wells, and he's forced into a bargain.
Like a devil's bargain.
Yeah, basically, and they reveal what Zoom is wanting to do, his motivations, what he's trying to do.
Oh, cool.
So that
but
is
you're not going to tell us.
I'm not.
Thank you. Yeah, I want to see that. That's
and
great.
One of the biggest things, at least for me, Wally shows up.
Yeah.
Wally shows up.
How'd they do that?
Iris has known for like 3 weeks, I think. Francine told her mom told her that when she left, she was pregnant with Joe's baby, and he was born, and she raised him. And his name
was that a detail released in the episode, the Francine episode?
Yes. She told. Oh. Yeah, that was the thing that she told Iris that made Iris go, "Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you. I don't.
This is too much.
Because it's just too much." And she finally, this episode, she finally comes clean to Joe, because she has to. She actually talks to Barry, and because she's
Francine
like, I can't.
does.
No. Iris.
Oh, Iris
Francine
does.
doesn't show up in this one.
Okay.
Iris is the one delivering the news.
I was like,
but she talks to Barry,
and
Iris talks to Barry and says, I can't. I know this, and I've got to tell you because I just can't hold it in anymore. And then he convinces her that she needs to tell Joe. And Joe gets again. Is it Jesse Martin that plays Joe?
The guy from Rent?
I forget the guy's name.
Yeah.
But he is, again, is one of the high points of that show for me. Because his...
Jesse L. Martin, yes.
Jesse L. Martin, okay, yeah. His delivery when he's told that he has a son, he's talking to Barry and he says...
you were my son, right?
Yes, he does. Yeah, he does. And he has a watch that his father gave him. And he says, after he finds out that Wally is out there, he gives Barry the watch and says, I always thought I would give this to my son someday. And he says, I just did.
Ooh.
So he's telling him right there, I don't care who else is out there. You're my son. So he was a very powerful moment. And he tells Barry, he has this moment with Barry where he says, years ago, we was working a case with whoever, and we were going out to get a drink after we got off shift, and all of a sudden I had this feeling in my stomach. I knew something was wrong, so he called the school, and the nurse picked up and said, I was getting ready to call you. Iris's appendix had burst, and she was being rushed to the hospital. So he's like, okay, if I have that feeling as a father, why haven't I felt my son out there? And it's like it was like a failing of his because he didn't know that Wally was out there.
Yeah.
But when Iris tells him that he's out there and tells him what his name was, and she says it was Wally, and it was funny twice. When she tells Barry and then when she tells Joe again, she says his name's Wally West. It was like, in case you're not getting it,
Herman. P.W. Herman.
Yeah, it's like in case you guys out there aren't getting it, this is Wally West from the comic books.
Yeah, right.
But he says when she tells him his name's Wally, he kind of nervously laughs and says it's short for Wallace. It's what we were going to call you if you were a boy. So that way he knows for sure that this is.
Wow,
yeah.
Oh man! All right, I want to.
So it was a very good episode, a very powerful episode. and you.
Any other crossover stuff looming, or
no.
Still anything from Arrow?
No.
So all that was resolved in those 2 episodes.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
the previous week.
That's all been cleared up. But it ends on a positive note, but still with the tension because you have the Zoom appearance, and you know what Zoom is doing.
Oh wow! Because before it was like, why is he just?
What's he doing? Yeah, and it explains what happened to Jay.
Oh, cool.
And Jay is still there, and you finally get to see him and Caitlin kiss.
Oh,
which Cisco is like the voice of the audience because they're flirting around, and Cisco walks in the room and says, "Dude, just kiss already." It's like, he's awesome. He's the one in the corner going, "Okay, just get it over with."
I mean, he's macking on Hawkgirl, so he gets all.
Yeah. Well, no, she's gone now.
Yeah,
she went off with Carter.
With Carter, yeah. So when does Flash come back? In January?
January 18th or something like that.
Okay. All right. So we got a little bit of time.
Yeah, or I think the 19th. I was torturing Emma with it last night because when they told the date, it's the 19th.
Okay.
I was like, that's over a month. That's so long. And she's just like, "Oh, shut up," because she can't stand to wait that long.
Like, honey, Pokemon's on. Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's just driving her nuts.
Yeah.
But we also did have the second part of the crossover last week in Arrow, where they wound up all
Legends of Yesterday.
That's what they call it. Yeah, that was the name of the episode. And the biggest thing for me, I mean, they defeated Vandal Savage, but Merlin has him, basically.
Merlin put him in a little jar.
Yeah,
and recited his little mantra.
And he may. You don't really know what the deal is with Vandal Savage.
Can he be reincarnated?
Can he reconstitute?
Maybe this is the first time he's just ever had to.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe he reconstitutes by himself.
It's true.
So
add Lazarus Pit.
Add water and
a couple of drops.
Instant Vandal Savage.
Yeah.
So I mean that'll be interesting to see. But Merlin has him, so that's not going to be
ace
good.
in the hole for Merlin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to be good.
I hate him all over again.
Yeah.
He's just so annoying. He had like a weird edge to him, but now there are more like edgier characters. So he's like kind of medium edgy.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, Merlin, with your
and he's not been. I don't think since he became Ra's al Ghul, I don't think he's really being used all that well.
Nah.
He
it's
was
the
Captain,
same suit that
he was
wears.
Captain Exposition in the episode, in the crossover episode, where he just kind of showed up when they needed more information.
Oh yeah,
and just pop in, drop a little truth bomb, and then take off.
That is true.
And then I'm out.
Smoke bomb.
Smoke bomb. Yeah, yeah. So it was. I don't think he's really being used, but you don't really want to have him as a full-on villain because he's Thea's dad.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
So, it would be really weird. So,
but we got to see the sort of backstory on the Hawk duo,
Peoples,
which was the Hawk peeps, which was pretty cool. I definitely like that ancient Egyptian scene.
Yeah.
But when I watched it, I was like, where's Yato from Aladdin?
You did kind of have that feeling,
right? It was Hawk man, right? Always with the hawk and the wings, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but that was cool. And then we got to see, obviously, Hawkgirl sort of train Carter, trained her, sort of put her through the things. But then they ultimately failed, right? In their battle against Vandal Savage. Not the gloves that Cisco made didn't work. And then
you saw everybody die.
Everybody died. They melted. Yeah, it was like in a vapor, like from the staff of Horus to Slam.
Yeah.
But then another time travel moment for Barry, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because he'd seen himself, so he knew he did it already, and that was kind of the...
Yeah, because when he was running, he had a flash, and he tells Cisco... What is that called when he calls that? A vibe? Or what is he calling it?
No, it's... I don't know if he called it something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he told him that,
like a vision
he had gone through time again. And, like, Cisco was, like, fussing at him. He was like, you shouldn't do that. I was like, hey, I just... what do you want?
Right, it already happened. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, or it hadn't happened yet.
No, right.
You think about that. I mean, that's
future self.
Yeah, exactly. So it was weird because he saw it, so he knew he will do it in the future at some point. yeah, again, there
love
comes
that.
the headache.
I love that paradox.
There comes the headache.
Super cool.
So
yeah, I mean, the greatest thing about time travel paradoxes is that it absolutely questions the very nature of your existence. Because where do you exist? Where are you real? Is it now and here? Right? Mm-hmm. Maybe not. So that's the great question that I think is like awesome, because Barry gets to experience a whole range of sort of emotions. And I mean, it's just a fantastic character.
And actually, in this week's Flash, he has a conversation that he's already had with Cisco.
Right.
The last time.
Yeah.
He and the one that was on last night, he had a conversation with Cisco about the Weather Wizard's wand that he had the first time he traveled through time.
Oh wow!
And so
they kept that up.
He's sitting there talking, and like he's saying stuff before Cisco can, and he's like, "Have we had this conversation before?" And Barry says, "Kinda." And then he had to explain to Harry and Jay that he had traveled through time, and Harry says, "You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't mess with the timeline like that."
No, yeah.
And he goes, "That's exactly what the other you told me."
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, they kept that up. That was, what was it? Many weeks ago that happened. No, that was last season.
Which now?
The first time he did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was last season. Yeah.
That was the ending of last season, wasn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Where he, like that crazy
the tidal
explosion.
Wave.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
And he had to run along the coastline.
Yeah. So he had to tell basically had to explain that to Harry and Jay.
Because that had occurred.
That it had happened, but then he fixed it. And then
so don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah, Harry's just like, okay, you shouldn't do that. It's like, I know, but
right, we're alive now.
Exactly.
So are you. Yeah.
But the promo for tonight's Arrow, the one that will air this week.
Yeah.
Damien Dark is stepping up his assault on Oliver. He's basically.
I want to say one last thing. Sorry.
Okay.
Merlin did get in Oliver's face and say that if you hurt Thea or put her in danger, I will end you. Like he did one of those moments.
Yeah,
that was pretty plastic.
I mean, it was well acted, and I liked that. Yeah. But dude, you forced her to kill somebody,
right?
So that Ra's al Ghul would kill her,
right? And then Oliver
and so you wouldn't be in trouble,
right?
Don't try that crap.
Yeah. Is it blood warrant or something? Or?
Yeah, it was like Ra's wanted to kill him, so he basically
can sell off his blood debt or whatever it was they called.
It was like, okay, you did that. You forced her. You drugged her into killing somebody,
right?
So that you wouldn't be in trouble with Ra's anymore. Shut up. What are you talking about? If you hurt her, I don't know if they just forgot about that or whether I don't know. That did kind of bug me.
Merlin kind of walked away quick, so I wonder if Oliver didn't have a chance. He's good about going.
Yeah,
like,
Oliver.
Call him.
We're
going to talk
crap.
about this. Yeah,
call him on that.
We're going to bring that up in the next meeting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that was kind of like, wait a minute, what?
So what's going on with Damien Dark now as far as stepping up?
Yeah, he in the promo that they showed for tonight's, they show him say, the reason you fight is you have things you care about. I'm taking all those away.
Oh God, what does he do?
And you see Felicity captured and almost like a Batman TV show kind of way, trapped in a box.
Acid?
And no, the air is being pulled out of the box.
Oh, that's lame.
So she's suffocating.
Why not like an Iron Maiden or a trash compactor or lasers?
But Oliver's on the other side of the glass watching her suffocate.
Ooh, that's like a great issue cover right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting tonight, and we have seen them earlier. We saw Barry and Oliver at a funeral. So that's already been foreshadowed that somebody is dying. Could it be Felicity? That would suck. That would push Arrow to a much darker place.
Well, who would be their hacker then? They would lose that whole side of what they do. I mean, Diggle can't do that. You know what I mean? Like Roy can't do that. He's not smart enough,
Yeah. But that would drive Oliver to a much darker place. No
you
pun
think
intended.
Thea would die?
I don't
and
know.
then Roy would come back
I don't know.
and take her place as on the team?
Maybe. I don't know.
Thea's a time bomb. She's
Yeah.
like, she's so unstable and like.
Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I mean, but it certainly looks like Felicity's in danger of dying.
If they're going to kill her, they wouldn't show her like that.
Probably
doing
not.
that.
Yeah,
right?
it would
so
be.
It's going to be an unexpected character.
Yeah, it would kind of take some of the
There's got to be somebody on the team because then, why would Barry be there?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like that's big interesting. And what about Supergirl this week? You got to watch. How'd that
Supergirl.
go?
They finally they did reveal what was going on with Hank Henshaw.
Cool.
And he is actually not Hank Henshaw, who in the comic books Hank Henshaw becomes the cyborg Superman, but in this show you've exhibited or you've seen him exhibit superpowers of different levels and glowing red eyes, so you know something's going on with him.
Yeah.
But Hank Henshaw didn't have those powers before he became
Cyborg
Superman. And he's obviously not a cyborg.
Yeah.
So the reveal was made that actually that is not Hank Henshaw.
But who?
That is John Jones, the Martian Manhunter.
Awesome.
So
how'd he look?
He looked awesome. He looked
Nice.
really, really good. And the story they told is Henshaw and
The
Jeremiah, the father of I keep
Kara
forgetting her sister's name.
Tina. Let's call it Tina.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Dean Cain. He's Superman. He was working with the DEO, which again they didn't know. They found out, so they've been suspicious of Henshaw, and they found out that Henshaw was the last one that was with their father when he died. So they've been watching him, and he revealed not to Kara but to the sister that Henshaw and Jeremiah were chasing this alien. They had tracked him down, and Jeremiah sacrificed himself to save the alien, and Henshaw died.
Oh.
So he took his place, and he explains that I'm a shapeshifter, so I was able to take his place and run the DEO.
So we'll never have a cyborg Superman then.
But that's the thing. They now have the ability to bring. He's not Hank Henshaw. So the real Hank Henshaw can show up at some point, be morphed into Cyborg Superman.
Like the Slim Shady.
Yes, that's right. Will you please stand up?
Yes. With a real super Eminem.
So
Cyborg Eminem.
I think that does well. I mean, you have an ally, a superpowered ally there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he says that when Jeremiah made his sacrifice to save him, he promised him that he would take care of his daughter. That's why he recruited her to the DEO.
That's awesome.
So I think it was very well done. The reveal was very well done. I like the way they did it. And unfortunately, this show just cannot
shapes. Right,
it can't decide what it wants to be. This was really well done, and this was put together well. But then at the same time, they have these moments to where it's almost written like an after-school special, and it's if it would just stop shooting themselves in the foot like that. It's almost like there's two creative visions, and I think that may be the case where Greg Berlanti, who is the showrunner and is also the showrunner for Flash, has this idea of a serious show that he wants to do, but then possibly the network may be pushing him towards the almost the Teen Nick kind of deal.
If you think about this, the three shows, right? Supergirl is really sort of like the lightest, and then Flash is in the middle.
Yeah.
It goes both ways, and then Arrow is just the darkest, right?
Oh yeah.
So maybe they want that variety, to have it. I mean, so that there's appeal. What's Emma's verdict, your daughter, on this? Like how the show's evolving? What does she think?
She's happy with it, but she did agree with it with me that it was kind of. I don't think she was as into it until the Red Tornado episode, and the representation of Red Tornado had me really geeking out.
You loved it
because it looked just like he did in the comic book, and they explained how that would happen. because it always seems silly. Okay, how is a robot half tornado from the waist down? How is he a tornado?
Yeah,
his torso spins.
Oh.
So it creates the vortex. And the same thing, he did the same thing with his hands. His hands rotate, and they start to rotate so fast that it makes a vortex.
That makes sense.
That makes
it's like propellers, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Some sort of. So far in the series, we've seen Red Tornado, now Martian Manhunter. Any other heroes make their debut?
No heroes, no.
Villains, though.
Villains, yeah. The one they called him Jim in the show, and I recognize the villain. It's a guy. It's an alien that has a little gem in his forehead.
Oh.
And I recognize it from Supergirl, but I can't remember like what they call
that
it.
Is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Adam
Warlock.
No. But yeah, and they've thrown in like Reactron and a couple, Superman villains, and her aunt is like the main bad guy.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like her mom's twin sister. So she's getting advice, kind of, like Clark did in the Fortress of Solitude, where he had Jor-El was able to talk to him, like an AI of Jor-El was able to talk to him. She has the same thing with her mom.
Oh, cool.
So, but she's getting advice from her, but then her twin sister, and there's like one little dyed piece of hair to let you know, oh, this is the bad one. Again,
so they're Kryptonian people?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
This isn't her Earthling.
No.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, this is her Kryptonian mother.
So is this evil aunt? Is she like Zod's female lieutenant that we've always seen in the series?
No, she's the one in charge. She's like directing the. There was in the Phantom Zone where she was trapped.
Yeah.
When she was on the way to Earth, there was almost like a Kryptonian super prison that was in the Phantom Zone, and it came out with her.
Oh.
And it's called Fort Roz, and that's where all the villains that she's been fighting. That's where they came from.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Everybody always says a prison. Rogues Gallery.
Yes.
Yes. Phantom Zone. What's Batman's prison? Arkham.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Green Arrow?
Because they're all crazy.
Iron Heights.
Yeah. Well, no, Iron Heights is Central City.
Central City says Flash.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. What's the jail?
I don't know.
Star Jail.
Star City Jail.
Yeah. Right. Woo! You're in Star Jail.
Yeah. So there's
So you're going to stick with it, right?
I'm definitely going to stick with it. There's parts that that kind of aggravate me, and I hope they iron those out.
Okay.
And if it gets a little more of an even tone, then I'll be happy.
Which it's close to doing, right?
Yes,
You're saying
it is getting
better.
closer and closer. Yeah.
Especially now with this extended Supergirl universe, the character set's growing. I mean, it's going to be great.
And they've got their full season order, so I'm hoping. Hopefully, it will get better.
I could totally see that show being the set up for the Justice League of America show or some sort of massive team up. I mean, you've got Red Tornado, Martian Manhunter, Supergirl now. I mean, this is just within the first 6 episodes of the show.
And also, it would be interesting if it did lead to that. Okay, are we connecting the two?
Right,
the Flaro universe with all their connected heroes, and then over to that. And if you do, you're then bringing in. Oh, sorry, knocked over the bento box.
How dare you?
If you bring
Legends
her in
of Tomorrow,
but if you bring her into their universe, you also bring Superman, and they have never mentioned Superman.
No, and have they any other shows on the horizon? Is there maybe we can get some clues from like any announcements of anything that they're mentioning? Wow.
So I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting if that will happen.
That'd be great.
I mean, I don't know if it. I mean, it could. You never know.
They got the Dr. Fate costume lying around. Come on.
That's true. Yeah, I could deal with that. That would be cool.
That would be really rad.
Yeah. So, and from the movie side of things, Civil War, Black Panther. It has been confirmed. Black Panther never chooses a side in the feud. He's there and he's part of it, but he doesn't choose one side or the other.
Oh wow.
Which kind of makes sense. He's out. The only thing he's concerned about is Wakanda.
Right. Don't mess with my country.
That's his thing because he's the king, and it's his only concern.
Yeah.
So and what happened in Sokovia in Age of Ultron, That has everybody concerned. And that was one thing we didn't talk about in the trailer for Civil War last week.
What?
Thunderbolt Ross is there, and he's a big part. We haven't seen him since Incredible Hulk.
Oh, that's right.
He hasn't been in anything.
Wow.
But Thunderbolt Ross is a big part of that, and he's the one that's jumping. One of the people that's jumping on Steve Rogers.
Oh man.
So he's a part of it.
That's gonna be great.
That's gonna be awesome.
Oh man, this new Cap, it's really reinvigorated me. I kind of lost a little bit on the series. I mean, Winter Soldier was great, but I was like, well, where are we going from here?
Yeah.
You know? So I think they're doing an excellent job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the Russo brothers, who are the directors of Civil War, they revealed that they were never considering Civil War without Spider-Man.
Oh, all right.
The studio told them, listen, this might not work out, so you need to have a plan B. And they went, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. He said, but we never had a plan B. We never had a plan B. So if it hadn't worked out, it would have been.
How would they have written it?
They would have had to push it back. They would have had to push it back to come up with something.
Oh man.
Because they never considered not having Spider-Man in it. Which I think is hilarious.
Spider-Man 2099 or something.
Yeah.
You know. Spider-Gwen, like
there you go. Throw Spider-Gwen into it. Yeah. But yeah, he was always part of the plan. And part of Spider-Man's suit will be CGI.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see what that would be. Are they going to do
maybe the
mask?
Could be, but they did it without it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, it always cracked me up where in scenes where he's taking the mask off in the both in the Tobey Maguire movies and the Garfield movies. Anytime he takes the mask off, it's separate from the suit itself.
Right.
But that's connected to the suit. Any other time when you're just seeing it, it's part of the suit.
It's true. So maybe it is CG like it has been.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they did that with
Johnny Storm
Iron Man. Iron Man. After the first Iron Man, he's never wearing a physical suit.
Really?
It's all CGI'd.
Oh.
Yeah, if you watch the visual effects featurettes.
Is he like standing on stilts or something? Or
no, he's not really taller. When he's in the suit,
got the armor on.
Yeah, it's just they CGI the armor on him. Yeah, and
incredible.
like the whole one of the scenes, when everybody thought he was dead, and he's Avengers when he does the let's go get shawarma line, that whole thing he had like a little frame where like Thor had ripped his mask off.
Yeah.
He had that little frame, but that's the only thing he physically had on him.
Does he wear a black suit or green screen? Oh,
yep.
Wow. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all put in after the first one. It's all done. I think he kind of realized, okay, this really sucks.
Yeah.
Putting all this crap on.
And he can do so much more.
Exactly. And it looks, like you said, it looks flawless.
Yeah. He doesn't need to use the cables to do the jump to fly and stuff. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So, word from Netflix, or actually technically word from Marvel TV.
Yeah.
They have announced that Scott Buck will be the showrunner for Iron Fist.
Cool. What's he done?
He's also, was a couple different things that he had done, but I thought it was interesting that a couple of weeks ago, the rumor was running around that Iron Fist might not even happen. And it was, and they quickly, shot that down and said, no, it's going on. And I think this may have been, I don't know if they rushed it, but, at least this was a timed announcement to go, it's happening. Everything's cool. we're putting this out.
Oh, well, maybe Scott Buck's kind of like he can carry the ball over the line.
Yeah, he's done. Dexter was the one that I remember thinking is a good fit.
Show.
He's done 6 Feet Under, Rome, Dexter. Everybody loves Raymond, Coach, and the Oblong. So he's got both.
Coach?
Yes, he's got both. I don't know if that's the original.
With Craig T. Nelson?
Old. It is.
It is.
Wow, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Wow. So he's been around for a while. Obviously.
Seriously.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see he's got both comedy with Everybody Loves Raymond, Coach, and the Oblongs.
And HBO drama.
And HBO, like
high-end drama.
High-end.
Yeah. Rome was bloody.
Yeah, high-end, but also mature.
Yeah.
drama.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to see both of those.
That's why I said bloody.
There, yeah, exactly, yeah. So, but I think that was a very calculated announcement to say,
Cool.
"Yep." I keep knocking that over.
You're itching. You want to get in there. It's coming up, Tony.
I think it's a very calculated announcement to go. Yeah, nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. He's our showrunner. We're all good to go.
Is it because Jessica Jones is getting mixed?
I don't know to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but yeah, the rumor got around that that the Iron Fist show wasn't going to happen. I don't know.
Look, I've been continuing to watch Jessica Jones. I'm on episode 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting really good.
Yeah, I haven't watched any more than the 2 that I'd watched.
The Kilgrave, Purple Man.
Oh, yeah.
He is dark, man. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's getting weird. The show.
Oh yeah,
it's getting really
sure.
weird because people that Kilgrave has taken over,
Mm-hmm.
want to now have relationships with people that that Kilgrave sent them to kill.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I won't
Wow.
tell you
Yikes.
what's going on, but
That's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is definitely that's going to happen, and of course, so it's going to be
Power Man.
Yeah, Power Man is already being produced. They're working on it now. Then Iron Fist comes after that, and then the Defenders.
Cool.
And I don't know where Daredevil season 2 falls. They have there's a new trailer. It debuted for Daredevil season 2. It debuted at Comic-Con Experience in Brazil. They haven't released it online yet, but there's been descriptions of it, and you get to see Frank Castle. I don't know if he's in full-on Punisher
or just
gear,
becoming Punisher.
which I will just go crazy. But yeah, you get to see him. I'm hoping very soon they'll give it a little time to for the people that were down there to kind of have a special thing. Hey, we got to see it, nobody else did. Give them a week with that and then release it online, which is kind of what they did for the San Diego Comic-Con stuff.
Right.
So I'm hoping we'll see that soon.
And you think they'll start to craft the art of the crossover between these shows?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know where Daredevil season 2 falls in this, because we've got Jessica Jones is already out. Power Man should be out.
Daredevil's out
soon.
Yeah.
Then Iron Fist, and then the Defenders is the crossover with all of them.
That's the Legends of Tomorrow, essentially.
Basically, yeah. And I don't know where Daredevil season 2 falls in that plan.
Maybe it'll just happen, and then they'll do a couple crossovers like they've done with Arrow.
Yeah.
That have been sort of more nominal, and then they'll introduce more of a team.
Yeah. But Punisher and Elektra both are being introduced in Daredevil season 2.
Oh, awesome.
So we've got more characters.
Wow.
Being brought in, and I'm interested to see if
Kingpin comes back.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see if Punisher's involved in the Defenders.
Yeah. Was he ever? Was he ever a member of the Defenders?
Daredevil was never part of the Defenders. Defenders were
Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk, Namor,
and Iron Man, right? Or
no?
We were talking about this the other day, that the original Defenders.
The original Defenders, it was Namor and
Thor in it.
Maybe, I don't remember.
Original Defenders. Here we go. Yep. Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Who is that? Satan, son of Satan?
Maybe.
Black Knight? Or no, who is that? Black Hawk?
That's Black Knight. Yeah.
Okay. This is a communist lady, right? Valkyrie, Beast, the Demon, right? Silver Surfer? Damn, and Hellcat.
Yeah. I mean, so, yeah, the use of the Defenders name is something that's definitely, that's the original group there.
Namor, Hulk, Doctor Strange, Surfer, and Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're our original Defenders. Oh, that's cool.
The name Defenders is definitely Marvel lore, but it's never been this group.
No.
So it's kind of like okay, we're not using this name. Let's do this.
Yeah, right. And people are creating like things like this. Like this is a little meme that has Iron Fist, Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
With like a Marvel Netflix type of thing. So that could be very interesting to see how they play that out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, and every show has been great.
Really has. I mean, mixed reviews on Jessica Jones, but like, I think it's cool. I think it's going to be a one of a kind show. We're never going to see a DC show like that.
Yeah, it's different, and we knew it was going to be different because of just it's not your standard superhero deal.
And to start off with her, of all of the Heroes for Hire, right? The Hell's Kitchen club.
Yeah.
I thought was, I guess Daredevil would be the first. But
that was more of a standard superhero deal.
And it almost stood alone as a sort of, as its own show.
Yeah, but this one we knew was going to be different. So
that's good, man. I can't wait. Iron Fist is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want to see him chop down a building.
And the two of them together, Luke Cage and Iron Fist this is awesome.
Yeah.
So, and this I didn't even know this was happening, but I saw the Netflix has released a new trailer for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sword of Destiny. It's a sequel to
that movie from the
Crouching
2000s?
Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
which was amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. The thing when that thing came out, it was so funny. Everybody's going nuts because they've never seen stuff like this. And I'm sitting there going,
you've never seen Kung Fu.
I've been watching this for, 20 years.
Right, people on cables doing impossible
Hong Kong's
jumps
been doing that stuff for years.
Right.
Just now because there's Hollywood known actors in it.
Right.
Everybody's paying attention.
Yeah, was it what was his name? Chow Yun-Fat
and Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
They were awesome.
And they're in it as well.
The Green Destiny Sword, right, is probably what they're describing with this.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it actually looks really good. If you like the first one, you're gonna like this one.
Great.
And it's Netflix. It's gonna be released on Netflix and in IMAX theaters on February 26th.
Beautiful.
I think watching something like that in an IMAX theater, I would probably throw up.
Blow you away.
It would just
go
be
over
so
waterfalls and stuff. I'm
Lord.
sure they're gonna totally take advantage of the big screen.
It's gonna be nuts. Yeah.
Even that running through the trees part, incredible. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so and I thought it was interesting that they're doing both Netflix and IMAX theaters at the same time.
Yeah.
So
people were like, I don't want to leave the house, and people were like, I got to get out of the house.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see how that works. Whether we'll have kind of dual releases again, like that for stuff like that.
Nice.
It'll be interesting to see.
That's cool.
And the Star Trek Beyond trailer, the first trailer for the new Star Trek movie, will be attached to Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Eye gouge. Doink.
No, I think that's.
Think that's good?
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because there's, the crossover of the audience that's where you're going to get the most.
Totally.
That's where you're going to get the biggest crossover of your audience.
Yep.
So go for it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So
that's great.
And the concept art for the new Green Lantern movie shows, and this was also released at the Comic-Con experience in Brazil.
Cool.
It features both Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
Awesome.
Exactly.
So we're definitely going to get...
we're going to get the core.
Guy Gardner at some point,
too. God, I hope.
Yeah.
I absolutely hope. I hope
he's a massive jerk.
Oh, he better be. I mean, it's Guy Gardner, for God's sakes.
Like if Pauly Shore played him.
Oh, my God. Now we're talking about the 90s.
That would be... Yeah, that's the theme of today. I came prepared. It was in my notes, Timmy.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what they do. So they're introducing another Earth Green Lantern, and is it gonna be? Are they both at the same time, or is when this movie opens, Hal's retired and John is taken over?
Yeah,
and he has to come back. He comes out of retirement, or what?
They better make reference to Alan Scott.
That would be cool.
They better.
They've
already done it, right? At least with Flash. I mean, you've got the multiple Earths concept established. They better do it.
But it's completely separate now.
I know, and I hate that.
They belabor that point all the time, that it's completely separate from the movie side. So
no,
it shouldn't be, but it is. And speaking of people that don't separate their movie and TV universes, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they had their mid-season finale last night. I haven't watched it yet, but apparently, I don't know if somebody dies or just something huge happens
or somebody gets dead.
Yeah, as it was put, it's a show-changing event.
Coulson's dead. Yep, sorry.
That would kind of ruin things. He's already had his arm cut off, for God's sakes.
The rest of it just had to go too.
Yeah. But they've been chasing Grant Ward, who is trying to rebuild Hydra with himself as the director
as the
of
main
Hydra.
leader. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's almost trying to structure it like S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
Putting himself as the director. So they've been chasing him the whole time, trying to take him down.
What evil organization has a director?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of weird. And they made, like, some of the Hydra grunts kind of made a mention of that. Somebody said something about the director, and somebody looked like questioning.
What?
Yeah, and he said, yeah, he's ex-S.H.I.E.L.D.
He's got to speak this way.
He's
an administrator. He's a level 5.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, but it's an interesting show. It's not something. It's usually something I can wait for a couple weeks, let it pile up on the DVR, and then just burn through them.
And you like doing that?
Binge watch it because it's. I mean, like you said, you've kind of given up on it just because of the bandwidth issue. It's like I can't continue.
I know I got all this multiverse stuff to do.
I don't. I don't have the time to get and it's certain. At some point, that's gonna just have to happen. I mean, like Heroes Reborn. I was vaguely interested in it, but I just never. Yeah. I just don't have the time to do.
Other things
and quite
that take
frankly,
its place.
The way I looked at it, you had one good season, a mediocre one, and then crap after that. And now you're coming back. I don't know if you you earned me making a point to watch it. I mean, that for the
make
first
it sound
season,
like dating to me.
Oh, hey, I broke up with him.
Like Heroes Reborn. Are you going to pay this time? Or are you going to leave me at the bill?
We're going Dutch. So,
yeah.
But yeah. I mean, they had one really good season, and then the second one just kind of fell flat. Wow. And 3 and 4 were just crap.
Oh.
So I don't know. So yeah, it was one of those. It's like I just don't really have time to keep up with it.
Okay.
So
you're forgiven.
Yeah. Well. I can live with that. So, but that's going to wrap up our movie and TV news. We're going to take a break.
We're going to take a rake?
I'll take a rake and go hit the yard because there's leaves everywhere. But when we come back...
That's what you're doing on the break.
That's right. When we come back, I'm going to open this bento box that I keep knocking over sitting right next to me. And we're going to see what's inside that. And then after that, we're going to take a spin of the comic rack.
Our hailing frequencies are always open. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search Ninja Troll Digicast or drop us an email at ninjatroll@digitaltuxedo.com.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket. But it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place. And then they act so surprised when I find them. But I'm like, hello? That's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
I'm Cully Hamner, artist of The Question in Red, and you're listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast. And we've talked about this many times before. The comic bento box. If you don't know what that is, it's like a
subscription.
Several different subscription services are out there, like for different things. This is a trade
Loot Crate.
Loot Crate and
Nerd
Crate, Humble Bundle. There's several different services out there. This one is specifically for comics, trade paperbacks, and graphic novels. Actually, instead of like regular one issue pieces, they send you graphic novels and trade paperbacks. So
let's check this out. So you got this box here.
I'm kind of on the fence of whether I'm going to continue. So we kind of said, okay, hey, if you're going to stop doing it, let's do a reveal on the air and see what's in here.
All right, well, before you open, before you open,
yes.
What would make or break today's thing for you?
I don't know. See, that's
what has to be in there for it to be like, oh, we're staying.
I'd say if it's all four, there's usually 4 or 5 different things in there. If they're all keepers,
okay.
I mean,
all keepers. Wow.
See, that's the thing.
What's your average percentage, like of keeper to dropper?
2,
maybe
2 and 4. 1, 2.
So
maybe.
half. So roughly half is what you're.
Sometimes a little less.
And what do you pay for this a month?
25.
25 a month.
It's 20 plus 5 shipping.
Perfect. Okay. All right. And it's one time a month. You get 4 graphic novels.
4
roughly.
to 5.
And how much are these? What do they retail for?
Usually around between $10 and $20. Okay. I mean, there's sometimes that hardcovers come in there. Ooh. But if it's a hardcover that you don't want, and you would never buy,
then
what's the point?
That's a hard.
That's
cover.
that's kind of the spot I'm in.
Yeah.
I get this nice sealed air.
Ooh.
Bubble wrap
U-line
thing.
air cushioning.
So
eco-friendly.
And it has a theme each month. Looks
what's
like
this month's?
this month's theme is video games.
Cool.
Yeah. This month
Nice.
is, you can look at the little card that comes with it.
Yes.
And there's only 3 in this one. So that right there, as far as I'm concerned, is a little strike.
Uh-oh. We may be dealing with millennials here. It says, for folks my generation, video games have always been around. Oh, well, nope. Simple as Pong and Centipede type games. Today's Massix cinematic new releases.
Oh, there's 4. Take that back.
Is there a Contest of Champions in there?
Yes, there is. Yes.
Ooh, the classic.
Yeah.
That's the classic Contest of Champions story, Timmy.
And it's not a.
I'm gonna borrow that.
It's I need to put these.
You
somewhere.
need some space here.
Yeah,
I'll be the holder.
Yeah.
I'll be Vanna.
Yeah, this is a looks like the first thing is Marvel Superhero Contest of Champions is a reprinting of the original Contest of Champions 1 through 3. No, it says first printing in 2015.
Oh no, this can't. This is it might be bundled like this.
Yeah,
because these were issues from the 80s. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's 80s,
John
yeah.
Romita Jr. Yeah, that's totally
yeah.
the 80s. Look, there she is, Sabra.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, she's on your list. Jeez.
Oh, she is. Yeah.
All right, good.
She is. Yeah.
So this is a great keeper. Do you own this?
No, I don't. Yeah. So this is
this is Wonder Man lifting a 1 million pound weight. They've got all the covers in there, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So this is definitely a keeper. This is nice, and I love how stuff that's reprinted from older, they have so much more room in these current ones that they have these giant gutters around them.
Space.
They have there's so much
versus
space.
being buried in the
Yeah. So this is definitely a keeper.
This is a great story, right? This is the Beyonder.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Who has brought all these people together and makes them fight like chess pieces, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like.
But it's not like a square bound.
Oh, perfect bound.
Yeah,
it's a staple.
Yeah, it's a staple. It's like old school floppy comic book. So
yeah, that's a goodie. And of course, an ad for the new Contest of Champions
of course,
game.
An ad for the
that's
new
why
one.
because of the game.
Yep, exactly.
But why they didn't give you the new comic is beyond me.
Yeah. The second one is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hanukkah the Hedgehog.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog and Mega Man Worlds Collide.
There you go. All right. Okay, that's cool. What's this one? This one looks like an indie.
Penny Arcade, Dark Horse. It's a Dark Horse Comics called Penny Arcade. I haven't heard. It says the complete Penny Arcade from the very first strips published online in 98 through the year 2000.
Wow.
So this is Penny
comic?
Arcade, the most popular webcomic of all time.
Oh. Oh, awesome. Wow, so they bound a webcomic into that's great.
Trade paperback. But again, I don't know if it's something.
It might be video game oriented. It seems to be,
or maybe just the fact that it's a web comic.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does seem to be.
I tell you, Nintendo should make a Legend of Zelda comic. That would be cool.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they have it.
Or Metroid or something. Yeah, right. I'm sure when Nintendo Power Magazine came out, they probably had comic strips.
Yeah. Attack of the Bacon Robots.
Now that's a robot I can deal with.
It's the Penny Arcade collection here. So
nice. All right, and this last one here is a Volume 1 of
Tomb
Raider.
Huh.
Yeah.
Season of the Witch, Volume 1. Gail Simone, Nicholas Daniel Selma.
Dark Horse.
Is it Dark Horse? Okay. Yeah.
Look inside. What's the art look like?
Let's see what the art looks. Whoa, it's funny. I flipped to the exact page that was that had the back cover illustration.
Nice.
The art looks cool. Yeah, the art looks pretty good.
It's kind of flat, but it's good.
Well, a shot to the pills.
Ooh,
that's Laura kneeing somebody in the green.
That's a real Tomb Raider moment.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, art looks pretty good. Now that's the thing with Comic Bento. I have come across some that I got a Shadow trade paperback, which was awesome.
Shadow?
The Shadow, yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which was awesome. I've had there was 1 month that they sent both Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the Green Hornet, the new Green Hornet collection.
Which you said was very cool.
Very good. Yeah, it was very, and I thought it was interesting. It was cool that the stories were, even though it was volume 1 and volume 2, they were connected, very much so. So they put both of them in there so that you wouldn't be left hanging, because they like to have basically a complete thing to where you can read and enjoy their thing. They didn't want like a cliffhanger left where you didn't know what was going on.
So seeing what we've seen here, Timmy, right? Your past experiences, what you thinking?
I know I'm still not.
You got one keeper that you explicitly said.
Yes.
I mean, Sonic, we're not doing.
No.
The bacon robots, that's
probably
cute.
not. Yeah.
And then what you think about the Tomb Raider?
Probably not.
If the artwork was like the cover the whole time, like the Alex Ross painting, I think it would be amazing.
Yeah.
But it's a little more kind of anime flat style that I'm not loving. Yeah.
And it's exactly. So and realistically, I look at it as like, okay, if I was walking through Heroes, would I pick that up?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
And so, and unfortunately, granted, I'm getting 4 trade paperbacks that are probably $14-15 a piece,
right,
for $25.
That's pretty good.
But if it's not something I would buy, and if there's only one of them I'm keeping,
that's not a deal.
That's not a deal. Yeah.
No.
So, like I said, they've already charged me for next month.
So we're gonna try and
see. So we'll see it again.
Stay tuned for comic bento box.
I'm not sure what the theme for next month is.
Yeah, let's take a look. Right? Did they usually tell you on the website?
Yeah.
Cool. So you knew this was video games coming up?
I had to look to see. Yeah.
You knew we were doing a show about this, right? And you didn't do your homework.
Timmy
D.
Let's see.
All right, let's see what it says first.
December's theme is throwbacks. To know where we're going, we have to look well into the past. With that in mind, we excitedly present to you our throwbacks collection. Classics from yesterday, tomorrow, and today. Don't think you've got this one figured out. There's some great twists to this theme that no one will see coming. Okay, that'll be interesting to see what.
Okay. Kind of throwbacks they're going to do.
But quite frankly, to me, it's like, okay, just send me superheroes. That's what I want. I mean, it's interesting to get stuff that I wouldn't pick up.
Yeah.
If it ends up being good, but the majority of what I want is going to be superheroes. Send me 3 superheroes things, and then throw in one or 2
Crunchyroll
other stuff. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I get the bento concept. At least they're honest about that. Because bento you get all different foods, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it makes sense. Now, is this the only kind of comic subscription that
there is one? There's one that is actually for floppies that like are current issues.
Oh, single issues.
Yeah.
What's that one called?
Which I don't remember. Let's see. Comic subscription services.
Oh, that's catchy.
No, I mean that's just what I'm googling.
So,
there's one that's online. I don't know if does that mean it's
comics,
digital?
Marvel Unlimited, Comic Cartel.
That might be the one that I'm thinking. I don't know what this is.
These don't seem like the same animal as bento and like the other box subscription places.
Yeah.
It's like we can go get single issues.
ComicCartel.io. I don't even know what that.
Maybe it's a moon of Saturn.
Yeah. Comic book subscriptions. Let's see what they do.
Yeah.
Because the concept is that was the thing when I first signed up for it.
You just got to log in.
I don't have to sign in because I just got here. Okay, here we go.
Oh, cool.
Shipped an all-new premium comic book storage, but what are they? It says
all new pull list manager, so you can make a pull list.
Oh well, that's the case.
It's just a bundler.
That's just a bundler. Yeah, it's not a subscription service, really.
Yeah.
So bagged and boarded for free. We don't touch your comics without white gloves on it, at least.
And then they say your comics are our comics. Like, don't play that.
Yeah.
Socialists.
Yeah. That means you're going to read them before you send them to me.
That's right.
And I want that.
Don't be bending my corners.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, at first it was a good concept, and it was fun to get it every month and not know what was going to be in it. It was kind of like the surprise each month. But unfortunately, it's like
surprise has turned to disappointment.
Yeah. When it starts leaning more towards, hey, I don't want that.
Yeah.
And even if it's something that I do, it's like it's something that I will read eventually, but it's not something that I'm really, really excited about. Like if I went through the store and said, oh, hey, there's so-and-so, I really want to get that. I get that. I'm excited about it. I want to read it. This is like, oh, yeah, if I don't have anything to read, I'll pick that up. When do I never have
you always
something,
got something to read?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I am towards the end of my my romance with the bento box.
With the bento, all right.
So,
all right. So we'll see what happens with the next bento box.
The next one's coming. So
we know that, right? But we're going to cut it off, and then I don't know. Can you then jump back on if you like it?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can re-sign up at any point. So,
but the track record so far is maybe not so good.
Yeah, not so good.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been some that have been good. Then some months that have been really, really good. But then there's been others. It's just. And
Any
unfortunately,
favorite themes that you've had?
Yeah, that's the thing. It kind of there was the first one I got was the theme was science fiction.
Oh,
so
perfect.
It nailed every one of them.
Yeah.
But then stuff like that in video games, maybe not. I mean, so you're never quite sure, even if you see the theme and go, oh hey, video games or throwbacks is what's next
sounds
month.
Great. Yeah,
it sounds like
classic
comics. Looks like we're looking for classic comics. But then they say, oh, don't think you know what this means. Why don't you just give me what I think it means? That's what I want. So
don't say what it is. Yeah.
So we'll see what next month brings to us.
We should make an honest trailer for Comic Bento Box.
It'll all be wah wah.
Yeah, right.
So that was our look at the unboxing of the latest comic bento box. Now let's take a spin of the comic rack.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's time for the comic rack. Hey, nice rack.
Knock it off, perv.
No, it's the latest news from the enormous world of comics. Right here on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, in the comic rack, we had, in the movie and TV news, we had news about Civil War, the movie.
Yes.
Now, Civil War 2 is coming from Marvel.
That's exciting.
Yes, and they have announced a creative team for the new Civil War 2. Brian Michael Bendis and David Marquez.
Sold.
That right there, yeah. That right there, I'm sold.
What's the premise? They give any teasers yet?
They haven't said what it is, but they have said this won't just be a rehashing of the old story.
Well, good.
And I think that's what people were worried about. That
what could you? Who else could you set like up into like an adversarial sort of like that used to be friends who are now angry with each other?
Well, now I mean, it's not Steve Rogers is not Captain America.
No, it's Sam Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah. Tony is still Iron Man, but and those are the two adversaries. But why? What's going on? What
else could they do besides a registration act type of thing?
Yeah, so that'll be interesting, but put into the hands of Brian Michael Bendis and David Marquez, I'm happy.
That's going to be killer.
Yeah, I think that'll be great. So, and also DC has announced that they will launch a digital first series set in the Supergirl TV show universe, much like they did with Arrow and Flash. They did both. Actually, they've had two different series for Arrow season. I think the first one was season 1.5 and then season 2.5. So it kind of bridges what's going on.
Those are comics too.
Yes. And then the Flash did season 0.
Cool.
So it went along. It didn't really interact. Like you didn't see stuff that happened on the show in the comic, but it had separate stories. That's where we saw King Shark first before he showed up on the show. On the show, yeah.
So how do you get access to these?
They released them as digital first, like on Comixology.
Okay.
But then they released them in stores, an actual print version.
Yeah, those I've seen.
Those are a little later, yeah. But it comes usually like 2-3 weeks after it's digitally out. It comes into the store.
Awesome.
So and then they bundled Flash season 0 into trade paperback, which one certain little Flash head that we know may be getting for Christmas. I'm just saying. So, she doesn't listen to this episode. Yeah. So they haven't released. They haven't given a release date or a creative team on them yet, but they will be putting that out. So
that's awesome.
And the Spider-Man and Deadpool series that's coming up from Marvel, they've released a preview of it. And it's going to be out in January, and there's several you might as well just say it's wacky variant covers.
Really?
They do themes on theirs, like the hip hop variant covers.
Those are great.
Those they did one of that where they look. I believe they look like Eric B and Rakim.
Yeah, they do.
And then there was another one where Deadpool has like webbing that has all his guns put together. There's like a big sack of guns that he's webbed together, and Spider-Man's sitting there with like his web shooters out, like looking at it like, what the hell happened? And Deadpool's used all the webs to like gather up his guns.
Make a sack.
Make a sack of guns, yeah. So it looks really good, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be Deadpool with his usual brand of wackiness, and then you got Spider-Man who's always cracking jokes anyway.
Right.
So this should be a lot of fun. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So, and Boom Studios is holding a contest to win a chance to be in the new Bill and Ted Go to Hell series that comes out in February.
I've entered 6 times already.
Well, you have to know. You have to be pretty deep in your knowledge of Bill and Ted.
Oh. And
you have to go to boomstudios.com and click on the contest link, and it will give you a look at the cover that Jamal Campbell has done for #1 of the series. That cover shows Bill and Ted on stage with the Wild Stallions, and it's a shot through the crowd, and the crowd has their arms up with like throwing up the horns for the Wild Stallions. There's 10 different hands on the cover. Each one is from a character that appeared in the Bill and Ted movies. If you can look and identify all of those arms, send it into Boom Studios or enter with the answers. They'll pick out a name from all the correct answers, and that person will be drawn in to have their likeness drawn into a bar scene in issue number 2.
That's gonna be me. All right, you can do the show. I'm gonna do this.
you gotta look at the cover, which the cover's really cool too, because it's like I said, it's a concert shot. They're on stage, and the crowd's rocking out, and now you got all those arms sticking up, and you just have to figure out which one. There's one that's like a robot, which I don't. Yeah, see, there it is. That's not the full image though, because you can't. Or can you see 10 there? Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one that looks.
So Socrates is right here.
Okay.
With the scroll.
Oh, okay.
The gun is Billy the Kid.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Let's see.
Who was the knight that they? I'm thinking that because
I first Napoleon.
I first thought that was a robot, but that could be a knight, like with armor.
No, it's definitely a robot.
Is it a robot? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, who the hell would that be?
I'm not sure. He was in the movie?
Yeah, it says that all these are characters from the Bill and Ted movie adventures.
One of these has to be the people who go like this in the future.
Oh, they're like Rufus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Rufus is bosses.
Yeah.
All right. So if we see a trench coat, I think this trench coat here in the center is Rufus.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then we had Socrates. Was Sigmund Freud?
Yeah.
Sigmund Freud. I think this hand where he's doing the
Freud dude.
Yeah, he's doing the finger up. Let's see, who else did they have? Maybe one of the knights from when they went to the medieval times, like the princess.
Well, that's what I was thinking with the robot, what looks like the robot hand. But I think, yeah, you're right. It definitely is a.
This is Death, right? Remember? From Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yep. Which that was the thing. The original title for Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was supposed to be Bill and Ted Go to Hell.
How do you enter this?
There should be a link there to click and to
you have to provide headshots.
Oh wow!
Yeah, for the artist to do with different facial expressions. Oh my God! That's
so
funny.
You have to send them like your headshots, so for them to draw you in. Well, that's what makes sense. I mean, they want to make your likeness very good. But yeah, there should be a link there that you click on to give your answers.
Well, you got to email from left to right and send who they are.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's great. Email must be received by 11:59 p.m.
think this is genius. It's absolute genius.
Well, I'm entering.
It's incredible marketing.
I'm gonna get Boom Studio emails now from now on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all day. Yeah.
That would be awesome, though. I mean, if you're really into Bill and Ted, and you can nail it, go for it. And I mean, like I said, it's genius marketing to do something like this and get a contest to get people actually in the book. It's just crazy. It's cool.
That's awesome. Well, if I get in the book, Timmy, I'll let them know who you are.
You need to
like, I know this guy.
You have to they have to draw you in a Ninja Troll T-shirt.
Yeah. That'd be like, this is my stipulation.
There you go.
You must have, it must be all this stuff.
And while you're entering the contest over there, and he actually is, folks. He's typing his email right now.
Do the show.
Okay.
I got this. Yeah.
All right. Comics that are coming out today, because it is New Comic Book Day. From DC, Batman and Robin Eternal, number 10. Batman Superman, number 27. Batman, this one I'm excited about. Batman, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 1, is coming out today.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to that one.
That's cool.
Batman number 47, which Bruce Wayne is now remembering, and he's making his way back to being Batman. That's starting now, and most probably it'll probably end up in Batman number 50 is where he'll probably show back up in like full on Batman.
That's awesome. Finally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Catwoman number 47 is out today. Constantine the Hellblazer number 7. DC Comics Bombshells number 6. You've been getting that. You said you enjoy it. The Bombshells.
I look at it. I picked up one issue. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not it's just the artwork's very curvy, right? But the stories are good. There's a lot of action as far as like ladies kicking butt.
Oh, there you go. Cool. Detective Comics number 47, Earth 2 Society number 7, Gotham Academy number 13, Grayson number 15, Green Arrow number 47, Justice League Darkseid War Lex Luthor number 1. Which last week we had several of the superheroes that coming out of Darkseid, the death of Darkseid, members of the Justice League have become new gods.
Get out.
Yes.
Wow.
So
what does that mean for them? Are they immortal?
Yeah, they take on the attributes of, like, Superman became he was the god of strength, I think. But he had some serious issues. He wasn't happy old Clark Kent anymore.
Oh, they corrupted
him. And Batman is fighting, or not fighting, but he's in Metron's chair, the Mobius chair.
Right. That we've seen.
But he said it's damaging him because Alfred finally gets him convinced to get off of it for a little bit. And he takes off his cowl and blood's coming out of his ears. And he said, it's not used to somebody as proactive as I am. So he's doing stuff the chair doesn't approve of. Oh. So it's pushing back on him.
Wow. What's he doing?
He's going. He was
asking about the anti-monitor, right? Wasn't he trying to find out who that was?
No, he went. This is in Gotham. It's all in Gotham. So
wow.
Gotta edit that out. It's all in Gotham, and he went and saw Joe Chill in jail. So yeah, he's doing stuff. It's almost like you're gonna commit this crime in the future. So I'm coming to talk to you to tell you better not. And the chair doesn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's changing
exactly
the whole course of Batman.
So yeah, it's pushing back against him.
Wow.
So yeah, but he does. Alfred had him convinced that, okay, you need to step away from it. You need to get off of the chair for a while. And he started to, and then he stopped and there's too much stuff to do. So he hasn't left the chair, and it's really seeping into his psyche.
Wow.
So yeah, but this is the one out today is Justice League Darkseid War Lex Luthor. So it'd be interesting to see what has happened to him.
They've been throwing that on all sorts of titles. Justice League.
Flash,
Darkseid War.
Flash, Superman, Shazam, they all became different new gods.
That must be awesome.
Yeah,
I bet the
Flash
shot
was
looks great.
Flash was Black Racer, but he basically rejected it. And then Green Lantern,
who became like what's his name, Mr. Miracle, or is he not a god, or is All Father?
No, he actually, I can't remember exactly what he went and the power battery of Oa and Mother, basically the Mother box, combined, and that's what the power he had.
Who's the main young guy?
Orion.
Orion.
He's dead, I think.
Him? No. Okay.
I think he's dead.
Oh, I don't know if anybody.
Yeah. See, they weren't specific like
1-to-1.
He's now Orion.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you're the god of strength or something like that. And
So
Billy's for Shazam, his gods were changed out. Like it used to be the wisdom of Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, all that. Those were changed out. So now he has different voices in his head, and he has different
What's
powers.
the word he has to say?
It's still Shazam, because that was the wizard's name.
Right.
But they still spell Shazam because it's they're weird names now. But it's a little different, and he kind of had to basically stand up and whoop them into shape because they're trying to say, like, hey, you have our power, you need to do what we want. You're not worthy of any of this, and he had to kind of whoop them into shape and go, no, I'm the one in charge.
Wow.
So it was actually a pretty good. The Shazam one was pretty good.
Nice.
But the Lex Luthor one is out today. Also, New Romancer #1, which I want to pick that up just for the play.
Neuromancer. Yeah.
Neuromancer. Right. Yeah, this is the play on the words. New Suicide Squad #15, Red Hood Arsenal #7, Slash and Burn #2, Starfire #7, and Telos #3 is out today. From Marvel, all new Hawkeye #2, Amazing Spider-Man #4, Black Knight #2, Deadpool #3, Guardians of the Galaxy #3, Hercules #2, Scarlet Witch #1, and from Image Comics, The Walking Dead #149.
Whoa,
so we're almost to 150.
Awesome.
And this is the cover that has Rick sitting in a chair with Negan standing next to him with his arm or like his hand on his shoulder.
Oh my God.
So yeah, the end of last issue, he went down to the jail where Negan is and said, I need your help. So it's not going to turn out well.
Wow. It never works.
Yeah. So that's out today. So you can pick that up and see what's leading up. I mean, their big milestone issues are always incredible. So 150, I'm really looking forward to.
That's gonna be great.
Seeing what's going on there.
Oh man, someone's gonna get their killed.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Yes.
So that's a spin of the Comic Rack. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna have our showcase on the all-important Jewish superheroes.
Oi!
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi. I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
Well, before I left my campsite, I was putting out my fire, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear showed up and hugged me?
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when people correctly put out their campfires. He's pretty big on wildfire prevention. He's just letting you know you did good with a hug. He's a hugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update!
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service Ad Council and your state forester.
Your weekly dose of the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast. If I can get Mike to stop with the Bill and Ted.
Timmy, I'm 4 away from getting it right, man. I've done it.
Nailing it all.
I'm getting it. Yeah. Sorry, I want to be in the damn comic.
Hey, that's a good idea.
It's a dream of mine. Don't crush it, please. With your logistics.
Yes, I know. All right, now it's time for the showcase.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ninja Troll Digicast proudly presents The Showcase.
All right, the showcase segment we do every week. We kind of shine the Ninja Troll spotlight on several different subjects. This week, in honor of Hanukkah, this is the fourth night?
Be third night tonight.
Third night of Hanukkah. Our subject this week is Jewish superheroes.
Oh, it is the fourth night tonight.
Is it?
Yeah, last night was night 3. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So
So Jewish superheroes.
Yes. What I
more
think
than one?
Yes, actually. And I think it's interesting because the comic book industry was founded pretty much by all Jews.
A lot of Jewish guys,
or the vast majority of them. So, but at the time, you couldn't really talk about what religion they were.
No.
So you had characters that actually, one of the ones we mentioned, let's just go ahead and start with him.
Yeah, jump in.
The Thing, Ben Grimm.
He's Jewish, right?
He's Jewish, yeah, but they never specifically said it until 2002.
Is he Gollum? Is he supposed to be like a
Yeah,
Gollum?
it's like the
Strong man?
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't specifically mention it until 2002.
Cool.
40 years after he had been created as a character.
Well, back then it hurt his job chances.
Yeah, there you go. But he grew up on Yancey Street on the Lower East Side. His young life was patterned after Jack Kirby's.
Oh, cool.
That was where...
so they had a similar upbringing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But his religion wasn't specifically mentioned until 2002 in a story called Remembrance of Things Past. Ben goes back to his old neighborhood and finds a man he had known as a child dying, and he recites is it Shema? It's a prayer. Shema. Okay.
Shema, yeah.
He recites that over him.
The Shema.
And, hey, I don't know.
You're trying, man.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Credit. Yeah.
I'm putting in the work.
Oh,
in a later story, he agrees to celebrate his bar mitzvah since it's been 13 years since he started his new life as the Thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
And he's
a man.
Yeah, for that he put together a poker game with all the superheroes.
What would you do? You want to be lifted up in the chair? Nobody can lift you in the
Nobody's
chair.
going to lift him in the chair.
Yeah.
So, but I thought that was interesting. It was like, hey, it's been 13 years since I've been the Thing. I get to be bar mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
does he read from the Torah? I mean, or is it just let's have a party?
Yeah, we just basically just have a party.
It's like his quinceañera for being the Thing.
He put together a poker game.
Ben Grimm.
But yeah, they probably, I would think, one of the most famous Jewish superheroes, or depends on how you look at whether it's superhero or not, would be Magneto.
Oh,
I mean, because he was specifically
Holocaust survivor.
A Holocaust survivor.
Yeah.
And that is what fueled his motivation. Did not go through that again.
I know.
So, and he was, his name is, there's actually 2 different names listed. I don't know whether,
for Magneto,
I don't know which one is actually his.
Eric
Lyncher.
Yeah.
Or Eric Magnus Lyncher, but also Max Eisenhard are both listed. So I'm not sure whether they retconned something or whether that's just a different name he used.
I've never heard of Max Eisenhart.
Yeah.
Ever for Magneto.
Yeah, Eric Lyncher is what I've always heard.
Yeah, it's always, even in the movies.
Yeah, exactly. So he was born Jewish and spent time in Auschwitz as a prisoner, but turned his back on his human ethnicity and religion and has for years only identified himself as a mutant. But he is,
he.
Yeah. And
you paused for a second, like, did you just say something racist?
Say?
Heeb is okay. You
okay.
may use that in my presence.
Okay, cool. I probably won't, but with him being Jewish, by extension, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and Polaris are all children of his. So
is Polaris truly a child of
his?
Is that okay? I thought it was like a clone or something at one point.
No. She found out that because she has magnetic powers.
That's right. Yeah.
And she did find out that she was the daughter of Magneto.
Wow, a Jewish girl with green hair.
That's different.
That's interesting.
But the twins, they are their mother is Magda, who was also an Auschwitz survivor, but she's Romanian.
Oh, okay.
She's not actually Jewish, but they are half Jewish because of him.
Yeah.
Also, Iceman is half Jewish.
Bobby Drake?
Yeah. Wow. Which comes that I think it's
on his mother's side.
His mother's side, yeah, obviously.
Then he's Jewish.
Drake is not exactly
Judaism, like the religion, the lineage is passed through the mother always.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why, like, even Jesus, right? Like Mary was Jewish, so like
yeah.
Joseph I think was too, but
I think so.
Yeah. But if Joseph was Jewish and Mary was not, then he would not have lineage.
Oh, so he wouldn't be considered half Jewish?
He would, but he wouldn't be considered Jewish at the time.
Oh,
because you had to have matriarchal lineage.
Oh, okay.
That's what it says in Torah.
I didn't know there was rules.
Yeah. Yep.
It's religion. Of course, there's rules.
Yeah. Yeah. Operating with a half Jewish life, 5 yards.
Penalty.
First down.
But also, this one is another one is weird to me. Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Although he was connected to the Egyptian god Khonshu.
Yeah, right.
He was born and grew up actually as the son of the wayward son of an American rabbi.
Oh.
So he was Jewish.
Carry on, my wayward son.
There you go. Sandman, the Golden Age DC superhero.
I knew that.
He was half Jewish.
That explains it.
Yeah, see, there you go. So
it's the green suit that gives it away.
Yes, there you go. And Nisa Ratko, which is her name in the comic books, Ra's al Ghul's daughter.
Oh.
Her mother was Jewish and spent time in concentration camps during World War II.
Ooh.
So,
wow. Okay.
So Nisa and I didn't.
Nisa was in the Flash show.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Or Arrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Arthur, the Tick's sidekick, Arthur, is Jewish.
Yeah, that I knew.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Atom Smasher, also Albert Rothstein.
Rothstein, right? Pratt's the Atom. Yeah.
He was also Nuklon of Infinity Incorporated.
Yep.
So yeah, he is Albert Rothstein. That's kind of a giveaway.
Black Sox. Yeah.
Colossal Boy / Leviathan / Micro Lad of the Legion of Superheroes. His given name is Jim Gim Allen, Allon, which is an Israeli surname. So writer Paul Levitz in 1980 used that to basically go, okay, he's Jewish, and he actually wrote about it in the series.
So there's Jews in the 30th century. Huh?
Apparently.
Oh, we made it.
Yep, the tribe's still going.
Amazing. We're super.
Yeah. Doc Samson. Leonard. He was born Leonard. I'm not even going to try that. It's a Polish name.
Let's see.
See if you can do that.
Skavorsky.
Okay. In Oklahoma, because there's a lot of Skavorskys in Oklahoma.
Bustling population there. Have you ever had an Oklahoman kosher sandwich? It's amazing.
That's awesome.
The beef is amazing.
Yeah. He was raised Jewish and attended yeshiva. Is that proper? Is that right?
Yeshiva. Yep.
Yeshiva. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a religious school.
Okay.
Jewish religious school. Yeah. Or Yeshiva University. Oh, he just it's lowercase.
Yeah, it's lowercase.
It's yeshiva. Yeah, it's school.
And he, of course, was exposed to gamma radiation after it was siphoned off of Bruce Banner. To cure him of being the Hulk, and that's where he was exposed and became Doc Samson.
I thought he got exposed to radiation at yeshiva, which
no,
has been known to happen.
That's a whole different thing.
That's right. That's why you got to wear all the stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But that's where he is. When he was exposed to that radiation, he then got the green hair, and it grew long. So apparently, the radiation made his hair grow.
That never happens.
It's weird. Yeah.
It's usually the opposite.
It's usually exactly opposite. Yeah. Justice is what he's known as now. He's the former Marvel boy from New Warriors and the Avengers.
Oh, yeah.
His name is Vance Astrovic.
Okay.
He's Jewish.
Sounds pretty good.
Night Owl 2 from The Watchmen, Daniel Dreiberg.
Okay.
He's Jewish.
Nice.
I don't know. This may be a hero you've never heard of. It's kind of a lower tier DC hero, Ragman.
Yeah.
You have okay.
Right.
Yeah.
He is always like he can fit in anything. He was in a Crisis story, I think.
No, not that
was
one.
That Dollman?
That was I think it was. I think they did call him Ragman, but that's not the one that you're talking about.
Well, remember, Jay Garrick tried to chase him, and he made him fall off the building or whatever.
Yeah, because he's like basically like a Raggedy Andy doll.
Yeah.
But no, this is
different guy.
He has like a costume that's made out of tatters, and he actually when he killed the post-crisis one, when he captures guys, he absorbs their souls.
Oh my God!
And there's a new patch on his Ragman costume.
Wow,
so he absorbs their abilities.
Soul.
Yeah, he absorbs their abilities, but he also has to deal with the
fashion side of it.
But no, they're trying to get him to do what they want to do.
Oh,
so he has to kind of fight. Yeah, he kind of has to fight them. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, his name is Roy Reagan, and he is Jewish.
There's a great Yiddish word for rags that you will learn today.
What's that?
Shmata.
I like that word.
Yeah. So if I said, Timmy, what's the shmata? Right? Talking about your shirt or something, then you know what I'm saying. You can smack me. No,
cool.
You've got permission. Yeah.
Now,
so Shmata Man would be a better name for him.
There you go, yeah. Then the one that you were mentioning, Sabra.
Yep.
Her
what
name
does she
is
do,
Ruth
really?
Bat Saraf.
Let's see.
Ruth Bat Saraf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was born in Jerusalem.
Bat
Saraf. Okay.
Yeah.
She was born in Jerusalem and was raised on a special kibbutz
Yep.
run by the Israeli government to be the first superhuman agent for the Mossad.
Awesome. Right.
Which is
Mossad
the
is
Israeli Secret Service.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So she was like a government sanctioned superhero.
That's great.
So she's Captain Israel.
L'chaim.
Yeah. Now, Shadowcat / Kitty Pryde / Star-Lord, she's the new Star-Lord.
Kitty Pryde?
Yep.
Is that why there was a Kitty Pryde Star-Lord comic? And I
Yeah.
was like, why the hell would there ever be these two things?
Because she took over as Star-Lord. Because she was that was her fiance. Peter Quill was her fiance, and for some reason he left being Star-Lord, so she took it over.
Okay.
It's just stuff I found out like yesterday when I was doing this stuff.
All right.
But her paternal grandfather, Samuel Prideman, was in a concentration camp.
So Pride probably became an Ellis
exactly.
Island thing.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Now, Songbird / Screaming Mimi from the Thunderbolts, never heard of them at all. But apparently her name is Melissa Joan Gold, and she apparently is Jewish.
There you go.
Never heard of. I don't know. Now, if you remember the original Secret Wars, Volcana, you remember the two people that got pulled? They were normal humans, and they got pulled onto Battle World.
Yeah.
And they agreed to help Dr. Doom, and he gave them superpowers.
And she was like that's right. She was like a fire lady, right?
Yes.
Like a Human Torch type, but she was molten, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Her name was Marsha Rosenberg.
Yeah.
That's pretty Jewish.
That's definitely Jewish.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Rosenbergs.
Yeah.
I really do.
Now, this one I find funny because it's it's kind of like Moon Knight. The character Wiccan.
Wiccan?
Yeah.
The witch guy from
Yes.
Marvel?
Yes. And
Seriously?
his brother Speed are both Jewish. Kinda.
Why do the occult guys have to be?
Yeah. Okay. So you got to follow this one. Okay. William Billy Kaplan is Wiccan, and Thomas Shepard is Speed. They were raised separately by Reformed Jewish parents, but later it was revealed that they are the reincarnated twin sons of the Scarlet Witch and Vision that Wanda created with her powers
During Avengers Disassemble.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so dark.
So, like I said, that's that one you got to kind of.
Well, that makes sense
Watch
because
that.
Wanda's.
Because she's Jewish.
She's Jewish.
Yeah.
Vision's not though. We asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which like when I first read it, it said, the twins of Scarlet Witch and her husband Vision. I was like, wait a minute, how's that? And so I had to dig into it a little more. And she was so desperate to have kids.
She went crazy.
Yeah, she created them out of her power.
It was so dark.
Yeah.
Have you read Avengers Disassemble?
No.
It is so good.
Yeah, I need to read that. Yeah.
That made me get back into comics a few years back.
Cool.
And I was like, whoa. And then I read Civil War and all this stuff after.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
that is the story, man.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely check that out. And this one, it's kind of comics, but not. But it was made into a comic. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh.
Willow Rosenberg.
Okay. They're going to say Sarah Michelle Gellar.
No, well, yes. No, but the character, Willow Rosenberg,
Okay.
although she was raised Jewish, she is obviously converted to Wiccan because she's a witch.
Totally. Yeah.
So,
All these Rosenbergs.
yeah, I know, yeah.
I know a lot of them. There's even
Now,
more now.
this is the best one.
Oh, God.
Shalom Man.
Shalom Man.
Yes.
Not Shalom in the Home Man? What's
Shalom Man was created by Al Weisner in 1985 because he felt that there was that there were few Jewish heroes. 3 wise men used magic to give a rock shaped like a shin after being the rock was shaped like a shin after being struck by lightning. The 3 wise men gave power to these rocks to become Shalom Man whenever someone cries out the words of help, oy vey, which I had no idea what that meant. I've said oy vey I don't know how many times.
And Shalom Man's not come to your aid.
I know, but I never knew what it meant.
So this is a shin. A shin is an SH letter in Hebrew.
Okay.
So that's why it makes sense for Shalom Man. Because Shalom starts with a shin. So the fact that he found a rock in that shape means something major.
Yeah.
10 commandments.
Yeah.
And what oy vey is like the.
Yeah. Anytime anybody cries out oy vey, he turns into. These words transform the rock into a muscular, curly-haired man known as Shalom Man, with superhuman strength, invulnerability, flight, super speed, super hearing, and what they call sensor vision, which is basically just like telescopic vision. Yeah. And the substance Sheenite can weaken him.
So this
it's
Sheen
Superman.
rock.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It's Superman, basically.
I love issue 3, the Saga of Shalom Man, the Man of Stone.
Up?
That's a Humantaschen for the holiday of Purim. That's Esther, and then that's the king, and then it says the whole Megillah, which when I tell you is serious. So, Timmy, this is a gem.
Oh, yes,
you made
absolutely.
my day.
Absolutely.
Oh man, look at the Matzah Chronicles.
Yeah, as soon as I read across that one, I was like, okay, that one's going last because that's the main event right there.
God, I love even the onomatopoeia. It's not like pow, it's like zetz. So it's Yiddish. Oh my gosh, Shalom Man number 8 is Talit and the Hanukkah themes.
That's awesome,
dude. This is gold.
Yeah, I think the.
How do you buy these? Where can you buy these?
I don't know.
I'm going to Heroes and be like, do you have Shalom Man? I mean, if this is a legitimate comic, then
it is. But I think the last one was. I remember seeing that the last one was published in 2012. The last Shalom Man was printed in 2012.
Oh man, I'm so doing this.
Yeah, Mark I Comics is the publisher.
Oh my God! Wow, have you ever heard of what is this? Oh,
Captain Israel.
Captain Israel
and Boychik.
Oh. No, that's a bad word.
It's not good.
Yeah, that's a bad word. Oh my God.
It's not as uplifting as Shalom Man.
Oh, this is so bad. I don't even want to read this. So some of the dialogue here is, so this Captain Israel and Boychik, which Boychik is means like a wimpy man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Boychik, I guess. Holy pierogin, do I have a heartburn? And then there's a lady like in a bikini on the roof looking at them, and she goes, "Look, it's a fagala," which is not a nice word. Okay,
I can figure that one out too.
And then somebody in the crowd says, "No, it's an El Al Airliner." No, it's Captain Israel. Funny, he doesn't look Jewish. Yes, he does. Does not. Punch. Somebody gets punched in the face. Wow. Okay, so sorry, Tim, you might have missed this one.
Man, that was.
Damn, that's awesome. So this is like so awful, right? So it's like when it comes in, like Sabra is interesting because she's Captain Israel. That's kind of cool, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, but these are all jokes. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is really raunchy humor.
Oh yeah,
really bad stuff. But
yeah,
like my nana and my booby used to always say, if you don't have anything nice to say it in Yiddish.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
I love that.
Wow, Timmy, you made my day.
See, there you go.
You made my fourth.
That's
night.
your fourth night of Hanukkah with Shalom Man.
Oh my God! I hope somebody gets me this. I hope somebody makes me a Kapow comic art collage with Shalom Man. I want number 1 knifed out perfectly.
I wonder if they're available.
Yeah, go on eBay right now, please, and see if you can get that. They're like, we'll pay you.
Yeah, to take it from us.
That's right.
Holy crap, it's there.
Oh, so look, it's $1.
Oh my Lord.
Oh my God.
There's the trade paperback. The 20th anniversary edition.
Wow, the art is absolutely the crappiest art.
Oh
I've ever seen in my
it's
life.
horrible.
Well, that cover's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, they kind of got their rhythm. It looks like.
Yeah,
they clearly ripped
these
off.
Are old. These are all from 2000. Wow.
Well, they clearly ripped
That's
off the old. What is that? Like Action Comics? Shalom Man font is in Action Comics style almost.
Yeah. When it was all, see, that's actually like a Yiddish font.
It's like a
Hebrew looking font.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Wow.
They've got real serious with this.
Speak of the devil. Let's see when.
Speak of the devil.
That's the name of it. I can't believe all these are available.
Oh my god.
In full color. It's very proud of the fact that it's in color.
You know, sometimes you just come up and you got to celebrate it. That art is so bad.
It's really bad.
It's just so bad. It looks like a bad metal cover. You know what I mean? Doesn't it? It looks like the rejected idea for like a Dio album. Right?
This was 1994. Was this one?
Like Holy Diver. It's like the reject version of it. Oh, dude. 94. When did 94 that came out? Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh, Timmy, this has been great. This has really been awesome.
Oh, so apparently there's been several series. This is number one from the 98 series.
Oh god.
That's the one that had the Zets.
Yeah. Onomatopoeia.
That's so funny.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yes, let's
see. Yeah, see that was like I said. As soon as I found that, I was like, okay, that one's going last because that's your main event right there, Shalom Man.
There's another guy here I'm seeing that's shown with Shalom Man. His name is Megan, Magen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done some interesting stuff. He's, I mean, there's some comics with him in it that look kind of interesting. Yeah, this is Israeli Defense Comics.
I wonder if they did anything like
that art is
official.
top. That's that character, Megan.
Yeah.
But then he's also drawn crappily with like a.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, that looked fine, but
the other Zits. Yeah. Okay, hold on a second here. Oh, okay, all right. I was gonna say there's two prices on the comic. Like, let's not play up stereotypes here, okay? It's like what it's worth and what I want you to pay. But no, it's USA and Canada.
No, one's for Jews and one's for Gentiles.
Yeah, goyim. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's another word for you. All right, we're gonna get in trouble here.
Let's move on. Yeah,
that was an excellent showcase.
Thank you. There's our showcase on Jewish superheroes. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna explore the multiverse with 0 Hour.
Yeah.
Our hailing frequencies are always open. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search Ninja Troll Digicast or drop us an email at ninjatroll@digitaltuxedo.com.
Hey guys, let's play some video games.
This new dad plays video games with his sons, but the challenge feels like he's lifting a metric ton.
So many buttons.
His avatar just stares at the walls, twists and turns and somehow falls.
Help me!
He's tangled up in the controller's cords.
I just don't understand this crazy digital world.
Crazy, crazy digital world. Zeros and ones. But the love from his kids is totally apparent. Ooh. See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
You should have just played catch.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Andy Smith. I've worked on Thanos with Jim Starlin and Earth 2 for DC Comics. And you're listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast, the only podcast with a kick.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast. That was Andy Smith, and you actually met Andy this weekend.
Yeah, at Charlotte Comic Con. My good buddy Brandon Paget from Sketch Charlotte brought me over because we're trying to put together a pretty awesome art show here at Queens in January that'll coincide with MiniCon. And it's called Pencils and Pixels, and it's going to feature Charlotte talent that is in the sort of the lowbrow art world, pulp art, right, of comic books, cartoons, and all sorts of illustration. So we're going to have all sorts of artists, all levels, all walks of life, like everything. And it's going to be a really exciting event. And we approached Andy Smith, who was there. And gosh, what an underplay of like what he's really done. I mean, the guy's drawn so much stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just kind of picked out one or two and not like the heavy hitters.
No, right. He was like, maybe it's stuff he likes, it could be. And then we also spoke with Bud Root, who was sitting right next to him. They sort of go to cons together, and they're really good friends.
Cool.
Yeah, so that was really exciting.
Is he local or is he?
Yeah, apparently they live in the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, to be frank, Andy was at a con we were at, and we stuck a microphone in his face and go, "Hey,
you know he's famous."
Just say you're listeing to the Ninja Troll Digicast. So I didn't know a huge amount of. I know he's done a lot of stuff, but But yeah, it was speaking of the Charlotte Comic Con that we went to this weekend, we had a blast out there. It was so much fun. I actually just went as a spectator. I didn't have a table this time. I took my daughter.
Wasn't it nice to just do?
It was very nice. Yeah, because I mean it's hard because she wants to go to these, but if I'm running a table.
It's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
You don't want to let her off by herself.
Exactly.
Maybe she's a little older.
Yeah. So yeah, it was fun to just go. Okay, she and I are just going to enjoy it, and it was so much fun. The 501st was there, so we got to see Kylo Ren.
Yeah, you did. I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
but the photo you showed me was amazing.
Yeah, he did a great job. He's a member of the 501st who did the new Kylo Ren cosplay. It looked incredible, and just knowing that. Going off, they had to just go off of the trailer, what we've seen in the trailer.
That's it.
And be able to put that together to look so good.
I bet they probably had like a coloring book, like a Star Wars coloring book that has
that's very possible,
2 or 3 issues or 2 or 3 images of these characters. They're really good about not letting that stuff out.
Yeah. And so that's probably, probably getting a hold of anything they could to just get a look at the costume to do it. But yeah, it was so much fun. And I came across a lot of really good comics in the 50-cent dollar box. Yeah, I'm always surprised like when I'm going through that stuff. It's like
what you find, right?
Oh, holy crap, this is in here.
Yeah,
and you're like looking around, going like, is this supposed to be in here?
Camera? Like, is it going to bite me or shock me if I take it?
Yeah. So I had got a lot of stuff, big old bag of comics.
I saw you at the end. You were like, gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here. Yeah. So, but yeah, Charlotte Comic Con's always a load of fun. So, and then we have you just mentioned. Minicon coming up January 30th.
January 30th is sort of the next big show.
Okay.
And that'll be at Grady Cole Center. We mentioned it a few times. And you and I will be there at our table, right?
Yes.
We're gonna share a table, and we're gonna We said we're gonna do some kapow, and we're gonna do some Mike Worth art, and then we're gonna like rotate, do a little fire drill at noon.
Jammed in the middle will be the Ninja Troll Digicast.
That's right. We'll have a little sliver for the. We need to just get a Nico bobblehead. That's like
that'd be cool.
It just sits there.
It's gonna be crowded because it's Minicon, but it's jam packed.
Oh my god!
It's almost outgrown the Grady Cole Center.
It's like 10 pounds of con in a 5-pound con bag.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is great because it's
which I'm used to.
Awesome.
That.
And the people who
all the comics I bought. So that's coming up, and then there's one in Morganton, February 20th.
Yes.
That. I don't know if
are we going to that one?
Yeah,
you are. Right,
yes.
We talked about 2 that are
that was the Hickory one you can't do, but the Morganton I think you can.
Yes.
So
and you'll have a kapow table, right? And
yes.
Then I'll do Ninja Troll.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think what I'll do is we just get the tables together. They can be next to each other, and we can
play
we'll spread out
paper football.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be there. So and then Hickory Comic Con is in April, I think it is.
Cool.
Which you won't be able to make that one, but I'm going to get a table there.
Yeah, it was May.
Is it May?
April 30th or something. It was like that weekend.
Yeah. Okay, so those are the ones that are coming up. So just a idea of where we're going to be and where there's going to be Comic-Cons in the area coming up. So
yeah, come see us. Right? We love when we get to
absolutely
interact with fans.
Yeah, we love it. So all right, now let's head to the Misty Borderland Cafe.
Now it's time to explore the multiverse. On the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, this is our ongoing Exploring the Multiverse segment. We started months ago with the Flash of Two Worlds, the first instance of the multiverse in the DC universe.
Right.
And we've been traveling on. We went through Crisis on Infinite Earths. Then we did last week was what was it called? The second crisis was the Animal Man.
Yeah,
It's
Grant Morrison's Animal Man.
Wacky
right,
stuff.
it was like the whole universe unraveled and then whapped back up. And then even at the end, Grant didn't let him like go on. Like his wife and children were dead and everything, and he'd solved the crisis. And he opens his front door and he's in an alternate universe.
Yeah, and usually like that's the thing. This all stuff is going on. His family dies, and they wrap it up at the end. Oh, that didn't really happen. His family's okay. Nope, he didn't do that.
No, they're dead. And
they're dead.
Yeah,
move on.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But this story, Tim, was I think a proper attempt at doing another Crisis crossover. But in this time, instead of going through multiverses, they said, well, how can we do a Crisis without blowing up the multiverse again?
Yeah. And
they said, well, let's go through time. Right, so if like time can unravel, like the multiverse was unraveling last time, then maybe we got something here.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So the part one actually has a prologue. It's this initial part called Sum Zero.
And I think this wasn't actually in. This was in another. This wasn't like.
This wasn't in issue 1. No.
Yeah. This was like and it all went backwards. That's the thing. 0 hour.
4.
Yeah. It started 4, and it was 3, 2, 1, and then 0.
Right.
Was the last
was the culminating one.
Yeah, because the whole time you watch the dialogue boxes when they're saying like so and so is happening, it's all the time is counting down.
Right, always by hours.
Yeah,
it's counting down to the 0 hour. But this came out in 1994, and this is the first Crisis story since Animal Man run in '89. And then the story has elements which you helped me sort of pick up on. I guess I should go back and read this now. But Armageddon 2001 and Armageddon Inferno, which were two stories that sort of introduced this character Wave Rider and like Rip Hunter's costume where he looks like Cable and Deadshot sort of all in one.
Well, it's the 90s. So.
Right.
Yeah, and this for me was like when I first started reading, I was like, oh yeah, now this is there's the mullets, there's the like you said, it looks like Cable. This is 90s goodness.
It really is.
It really is. But then, unfortunately, as I started reading, I was like, okay, yeah, I remember now. This one wasn't that good.
It's not the shiningest star in the sky.
And that's the thing. You're talking about Armageddon 2001. It wasn't that great either. It actually, when I went back to look at it to try to refresh my memory of it, I remember they changed because the secret of who the whole thing is set around this guy named Matthew Ryder comes back in time,
right,
and gets turned into a being made up of tachyon energy, and he is coming back in time because there's a dictator that's ruling the world named Monarch. And the rumor is he was a superhero that turned bad.
At one point.
So he comes back to 1991 to try and figure out who the superhero is that goes bad. So he goes back and he goes to each one and touches them and sees 10 years into their future to 2001 to see who becomes him. The plan all along was for it to be Captain Atom. But that leaked out. And so they decided to change it to Hawk. Unfortunately, in the series, Wave Rider had already visited Hawk and Dove, touched both of them, and said, "It's not you.
It's not you." Yeah.
And the only one he hadn't touched and looked into their future was Captain Atom.
So you assumed immediately.
Yeah.
So is that just like we'll just fix it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Yeah. That was the thing. It was like, okay, let's make it Hank Hall. And it ruined, they had to cancel the Hawk and Dove series, and they killed Dove in the series. Basically, they just said, okay, well, we'll kill Dove, and he'll absorb her power, and that's what, he became Monarch when he saw his future self kill Dove.
What?
Exactly.
Oh, right.
Exactly. So,
but in this Sum Zero, that's probably why they have this Sum Zero part. So they talk about this place called Vanishing Point, right? And it's sort of the new Misty Border Lounge, which is quite nice. It's almost like
fancy.
Like Griffin Park in L.A.
That's right.
It's got a little observatory. It's all good. But this is where Wave Rider and Rip Hunter sort of watch the universe, and they sort of see like everything that's gone on.
Yeah, at first I didn't realize. I wasn't sure if that was Rip Hunter or not, because they kept calling him Hunter.
Right, which could mean something else.
It could, yeah, exactly. But yeah, as it slowly went on, I realized, okay, yeah, that's Rip Hunter.
Right. And they're talking about, so like to defeat Monarch, I had to destroy the entire timeline. My own family ceased to exist. Did you ever consider the consequences of wiping out that timeline? That's why I don't trust you. We, the linear men, and this is important, that the linear men are the time people, time travelers, which seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, no,
a little bit.
Yeah. They're the non-linear men.
Right. But if you look, you'll see like there's pictures of Monarch, and then there's Hawk and Dove fighting Monarch. And like, so it's like, whoa, what's going on? You know, all this stuff. So Hawk killed Monarch in turn and ultimately became him. Right. And he went on to become a murderous despot. But history is filled with guys like that. Some would say you're worse than all of them. You destroyed an entire timeline. This is Rip Hunter.
Rip Hunter's got a point.
Wave Rider. Yeah. Apparently Wave Rider knows the deal.
Yeah.
But the weirdest thing occurs. So Monarch is like, I guess, what's it? Hank
Hall.
Hank Hall. Mm-hmm. He's sitting like in this like big repair chair or whatever, and he's getting fixed up, sort of thing. And he can actually see or detect that Wave Rider and Rip Hunter are watching him.
Yeah.
So that's what this is all about. And he kind of says,
he's watching them, watching him.
Exactly. So he's been like brooding and waiting, and now, well, he can't see. He just can only detect when somebody can see him.
Okay.
So he built a sensor, right? Because I guess he's like stuck out of time or whatever. But now he's strengthening up, and he's sort of ready to like emerge into action. They get into battle. Monarch now and Wave Rider and Rip Hunter have this like crazy fight, and Monarch just kicks their butt. I mean, you can see he blasts him in the face.
On him,
yeah, he just really like gives him the hurt. He basically he captures them in a big bubble and keeps them sort of in this space that like now he can sort of like hatch his plan. But all along the way, this whole beginning is just to basically reveal that, you know, that Hank Hall was Hawk and Dove, blah, 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 and that he became now from Monarch to become extant.
Yes.
So I wonder if that was the fix, was let's make him a brand new character altogether.
It may have been, yeah.
So that way his identity is his own.
Yeah.
But yeah, you look at extant and it looks like Deadpool and Adam Warlock had an illegitimate love child.
Yeah.
And then Alan Scott got in there with the purple cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he announces himself as extant, and this is sort of like, and then Rip Hunter says, "We've done what you've done is create a monster. For all we know, the extant might change all time," because he's now like he has Wave Rider's time travel ability.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's revealed a little later. He's Hawk and Dove and Wave Rider.
A little bit
as well.
Pieces of each.
Yeah.
And
they go back and forth between calling him extant and the extant.
Right.
So
yeah. And then Wave Rider at the end of this Sum Zero thing says, "If true, we stand on the verge of a true crisis."
Da-da-dum.
Yeah, continued in 90s font.
Yeah.
Cool. So now we get into the proper story. So if you got issue 4 of 0 Hour, which is part 1, we start off with a very interesting type of thing. So we're at 32 hours, right? So this is where Earth's distant future, 32 hours ago, the end of time. So what we're sort of understanding now is that time from the end of time is working its way backwards.
Okay, I just looked back at the beginning of the trade paperback here. Those first 2 issues was Showcase 94, 8, and 9.
Oh.
That's where that was from.
Okay. Yeah, they don't indicate that.
They don't, yeah, except for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just says
here
originally
it is.
published in single magazine form.
As Showcase 94, 8, 9.
Yeah.
All right, that makes good sense. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But the lead up for the crisis.
Sets up, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the end of time now, a mysterious figure who we don't see murders a character called the Time Trapper, who kind of looks like the Spectre a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
A new character to me. I wasn't sure who that was. I don't know if you knew.
Nope.
Okay, so it's a big, bad cosmic being, I guess, or even good, but is destroyed. And that's what we get in that first scene. Lots of Kirby crackle, all sorts of goodness. And then 30 hours. Now we're on the planet of Apocalypse, light years from Earth. Metron unsuccessfully attempts to enlist Darkseid to help him against what he perceives to be a giant upcoming crisis.
Yeah.
So Metron's sensing something through the chair, and Darkseid says, "Impossible. I would be aware of such an occurrence. You have finally lost your senses, Metron." Okay.
So he just won't accept that he would know it was going on.
So it's like, it must not exist.
It must not exist.
That
exactly.
Metron is trying to trick me again with
He's
his
wacky.
Mobius chair. So this is kind of cool. 29 hours before, we are in Gotham, and essentially the Joker is stunned because he's seeing a walking young Batgirl.
Yep.
Which is like,
actually,
what?
no, he's not. He didn't know he shot Batgirl when he shot her.
Oh, but doesn't he say like
he says Batgirly?
Yeah, is this some
but
kind
he
of
just
joke?
hasn't seen her in a while.
Okay.
It's Batman who is like, oh, wait a minute, what's?
Yeah, Batman says,
walking.
Yeah, right. She says, "Nice of you boys to show up."
And she doesn't know who Tim is.
No.
Tim Drake is Robin at the point, and she's like, okay, that's
Who's this younger guy?
Yeah, he's a younger Robin.
And their discussion, because she's like, "Why are you looking at me like this?" Like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Joker then escapes with a flash grenade and gets away.
Did you notice
what?
the tail end of that scene?
What did he say?
There's another Robin watching them.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, right there at the end, because Tim and Batman are leaving.
Yeah,
and then
and it's somebody in the classic Robin suit.
Yep.
So that's got to be.
I think it's Jason.
Todd.
If I remember correctly, I think it's Jason.
Well, that would make sense because we're going to see a lot of alternates in this comic. So that's cool. All right, so now we're 28 hours, 49 minutes ago at the vanishing point. Again, Matthew Ryder, as you mentioned, alerts the rest of the Linear Men, right, who are Wave Rider and Rip Hunter, when his observations of future timelines are mysteriously completely disrupted. The team arrives to the conclusion that the wave of entropy is working its way backwards from the end of time. So there is a point that is the end, destroying everything in its path. And I suppose the end of time is probably growing, I imagine.
Technically it would be, yeah.
Right? So that makes sense. And then Rip Hunter and Wave Rider go, let's investigate.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go check that out. Okay. And now, 28 hours, 42 minutes ago, we're in the 64th century on New Earth.
Wally.
Yep, Wally. Wally West, the Flash, is fighting Abracadabra. They're interrupted.
Miller song.
Yeah, when the Linear Men. Who's Steve Miller? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah. Isn't that the guy in the Time Life Greatest Hits? Of the, no, yeah. So they're interrupted by the Linear Men who show up, and the group attempts to figure out a way that they can combat the quickly approaching entropy waves together. And then Abracadabra suggests to the Flash that he can do it. He can run and sort of like fix it, which is a lie.
I just love when Wave Rider comes in, and because Wally thinks that Abracadabra is doing whatever he's seeing in the sky.
Right.
And Wave Rider and Rip Hunter pop in and go, he's telling the truth. And Wally looks up and goes, Wave Rider, uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, crap.
Yeah, right. Not him again. So that's the kind of stuff that like you get from Armageddon 2001 and Armageddon Inferno, right?
Yeah.
That notion that people hate him, right? Or think he's a nuisance.
He's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
He comes in and just messes everything up.
That dude again. Great. This was cool. So the Flash attempting to generate a shockwave by doubling back through his own vortex at ultimate speed.
Yes.
Which is what? What is ultimate speed? Just the max speed.
I guess it's the point to where you become one with the Speed Force.
Yeah.
I would guess. Maybe speed of light. Maybe.
Okay, could be. All right. But they refer to it as ultimate speed. And it's capitalized. So,
yes,
well, I guess it's all capital, so forget
it.
So he does this, and then Wave Rider magically can run as fast as he can and says, no, it's a suicide run, don't do it. And then we see another death of another Flash.
Yes.
And a great image there.
Yeah.
Very 90s image, right? Anatomy of him holding the empty suit.
Yes.
Wally West's suit. And you know it's Wally's because of the white eyes and then the belt.
And the belt, being 2 lightning bolts.
Right, instead of the single.
Yep.
And then meanwhile in Metropolis, 24 hours and 42 minutes ago, look at that dang old school Batmobile.
I'm telling you, that was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That one. And then the mullet. It's
and you see the Superman mullet. Yeah, and you can see a little bit of like crossover of different elements like that, like the old school throwback 50s Batmobile with the face on the front.
Right.
And then, but he's also talking about
he says a broken back can't dampen a Batman's resourcefulness.
That was right after Nightfall. He came back from Nightfall.
And then Batman says, my injuries weren't nearly as serious as yours after he died, right?
He died, dude.
Yeah.
Don't give me trouble, mullet.
It's been quite a year for both of us, Superman says. What's up? Right. So, and then Metron appears and then enlists the two of them to help.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're like game. Next, Hunter and Wave Rider arrive in the 58th century where they find a younger version of Hal Jordan.
Yes.
So he's been brought there. And he's been brought there before, like they need him, but it's before he was corrupted, but he's inexperienced.
Yes.
So he can't handle.
Yeah, there's no salt and pepper at the temples. He's a much younger Hal Jordan, but like you said, he doesn't really know what he's doing.
Nah, his full potential with the ring. Like he's doing old school stuff, and it's the people that are there are like, dude, I thought you were like better than this. Like you suck.
Yeah.
But this is a really cool scene. So now, let's see here. Both Green Lantern and Hunter perish, although Hunter warns Wave Rider that this is another crisis, and he must check the chronoscopes. So
Wave Rider's still carrying around Wally's empty suit, and for some reason the boots stay on.
It's great. It's well made. It was made by Edna from the Incredibles. Yeah, Edna mode. Yeah. And now this is really cool because we just had a Hawkman episode on Flash and Arrow, which is really cool. So Hawkman battles Vandal Savage, and suddenly he splits into many different temporal counterparts.
Yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different versions of Hawkman.
I love it. And then my favorite one is the second one from the right with the super hairy chest.
Oh yeah,
he's like, I'm a man.
I'm a man. I'm a Hawkman.
He's got the logo, and then like. He is just,
And that's the one that we end up with, basically. Because that was the thing. It had changed around so much. And basically, Hawkman had been kind of, and Hawkgirl also, had been jerked around so much that all of a sudden they're aliens from Thanagar.
Yeah.
And
not reincarnated.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And there was a comic called Hawk World that was set on Thanagar.
Yeah, right.
And so
that's where this one is from, right? This metal super with the red eyes.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And they were actually cops there.
Wowee.
Yeah.
Okay, so more space cops. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. This is an illegal no-fly zone.
And I think they actually say something about that. He's like facing off with Ollie. And he says something about he's a cop, he's a space cop, and Carter's yelling back at him that he's a hippie basically.
Yeah.
They don't get along very well at all.
No. Well, you're saying Hawkman's just mad at everybody.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Don't call me Angel. Yeah. So now Dr. Mist, he notes that several of his counterparts keep fading in and out of existence. So he keeps seeing this place here, you can see there's like a few of him, and they're all like, hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? And then Superman approaches the new Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, and requests that he use his ring to help broadcast a message to all of the Earth's heroes, which is really funny. He's like, just make a camera, and then Metron will use his Mobius chair to channel to the right people. And then there's like a Green Lantern Superman, full mullet, who starts to talk to all of the Earth's heroes, right, again, to sort of assemble, folks for the crisis. And we get Aquaman, we've got some of these I don't recognize. Superboy, the Atom, Green Arrow.
Yeah, those the ones in that second panel there are the Team Titans.
Oh wow, okay.
TEAM.
Team Titans. Oh yes. Yeah, the Titans stand ready.
Yeah, there's Changeling and
is this Legion?
No, that's Ray.
Ray, okay.
Ray.
But he was in the Legion. The Legion, like spelled out with the acronym, right?
I don't know.
Is he in that?
I don't think so.
No, I thought he was.
But he was. Yeah, he was he was a new hero at that time, and he was a kid. He was like 17 years old, and you got kind of a fun thing. At a little later, they're all gathered together, and Superman says something about he ran into several different versions of Batman. And Ray is like standing behind him. He goes, "Hey, cool." And the one is on the left there. That is Donna Troy as a Dark Star.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering what that uniform was, right? That's the Lantern? Is a Dark Star a Lantern?
It's a type of... It was... Dark Star was like the replacement for the Lanterns when the Lantern
battery
core was
destroyed?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then we've got, looks like the Outsiders, Geoforce, and I forget her name. Katana, maybe?
That is... Yes, that's Katana.
And then, I don't know who this is. That kind of looks like, what's her name? Starfire?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
it's
too close
of a shot.
But, we get a bunch of these heroes. There's a new gigantic crisis and rallies everyone to meet him in Metropolis. So meet me in Metropolis.
And Metron tries to get Spectre on board.
That's
and
right.
He basically says, "Leave me alone.
Yeah, be gone. Your struggles with the laws of nature are little matter to me, Metron." Yeah. But that means he'll show up later.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, back at Vanishing Point, a.k.a. Griffith Park, floating in space, in rainbow space. We're now at the 18-hour mark. In the chronoscopes, right, which is Wave Rider was going to check stuff out, he reads the original Crisis, which is really cool. Long forgotten to all except for the Linear Men, right? Mm-hmm. And Psycho Pirate, who's now dead.
Yes.
Right? So it's all gone. And then 18 hours and 10 minutes later, I guess from where we just previously were, the JSA...
But he gets serious Crisis face there.
Oh, that's major Crisis face, yeah. As tumultuous as the event was, only the Linear Men knew of it until now. So, good times. Now we see the JSA converge upon Hawkman, who has summoned them to deal with the recently captured Vandal Savage. However, Savage is suddenly erased from existence. Wave Rider appears and explains that Savage died because the ancient period that he was born in was just erased. He then informs Jay Garrick of the recent death of Wally West combating entropy.
But if it's starting at the end of time and moving backwards, how did the ancient timeline get erased?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe we find out. Yeah, right? Because they even explicitly say that it's going back in time. But
this is a kind of a sucky page because Wave Rider hands Wally's uniform to Jay.
Right.
And Jay always looked at Wally. He looked at Barry as a son, and by extension,
Wally is a grandson.
So now he's got they're both dead.
Right. So he says Wally, not Wally too. Sorry. And then meanwhile, now we're back at Vanishing Point again, and now Extant is lording over the body of the unconscious bodies of the Linear Men. So you can see Matthew Ryder and some other lady. I wasn't sure who that was. They're on the floor. Mayhem, madness, chaos. I am Extant, and now it's mine. Yeah, so he's taken over the Vanishing Point.
Okay.
All right, and then that transitions us to the next issue here, or almost. So 17 hours and 7 minutes ago, the Justice Society decided to take the fight immediately to its source, using their extensive experience with time-related problems as an advantage. Dr. Fate transports them using them to Vanishing Point, but Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and Wave Rider end up going elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And then we get a nice there's a big Crisis shot. Like everybody's all there. Johnny Quick is there, and
Sandman,
Captain Midnight, Dr. Midnight, Sandman, Dr. Fate, the original Wildcat. Yeah. So, and it looks like Atom Smasher. Yeah, all the dudes.
That's Atom, actually.
Oh, the Atom.
That's the Atom.
Oh, right. That's the Earth 2 Atom.
Yeah.
Right.
Al Pratt.
That's the right.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we are now in part 2, issue 3 of this, right? And then Dan Jurgens story and art, and then Jerry Ordway on finished art. Wow, that's interesting. So Dan Jurgens penciled this, I assume.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very cool. All right, so now while traveling to New York City with Metron, Superman goes to investigate screams coming from Keystone City, and meets up with Impulse, who is fighting dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. He enlists the young speedster to join him. So now we've got a speeder back, right?
Yeah.
Speedster, despite losing Wally. So who is Impulse again? Is that Bart, Alan?
That's Bart, yeah. And he does not want, he specifically says, call me Kid Flash, and you'll get your big ass handed to you.
Yeah.
He's sassing Superman.
And he actually goes through the wall.
Yeah.
And he doesn't blow up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he has more control over it than Wally does.
That's nice. He's worked it out. Fantastic. So outside of the time stream now, the Time Trapper reveals to Rock Kryn, who I wasn't sure who that was.
I'm not either.
Yep. That he, in fact...
I think he's part of Legion.
Okay. So the Time Trapper is an older version of Rock Kryn.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was like killed and destroyed and stuff, like, this Rock Kryn character is going to play a bigger role. We also, the next one. Now we're 14 hours and 39 minutes in New York City. The heroes of the world finally converge and join together, and Superman is elected the group leader. But we also see a pregnant Power Girl.
Yes.
Yep. And wow, right? An amazing
2-page spread of everybody.
Everybody. I mean,
there's
you even
my
got
boy, Guy
Warrior.
Gardner.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's definitely Warrior. He's got the suit.
Yep.
So, oh, that's great. This is a real good looking panel.
Yeah.
So it's 2 full pages spread.
It's a 2-page spread, yeah.
Yeah, Captain Marvel's here. Who's this lady? She's a Lantern, isn't she?
That's Jade. That's
Jade.
Alan Scott's daughter.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, cool. And that was Starfire, because there she is with her armor. That was like an older look of hers. She just doesn't have the big hair. Yeah, it's sort of... She looks like Rachel from Friends.
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
that was
it was
the
the
hairstyle. Yeah, the hairstyle of the time. Yeah. So this is a really cool shot. And let's see. So this was 14 hours and 39 minutes. So now we're 17 hours and 3 minutes ago. I don't know how we jumped in time there.
And of course, the person who brings up that they need to pick a boss is Guy.
Yeah.
He's like, so if you guys just want to go ahead and pick me as the boss, we'll be good to go. We'll go on. And everybody goes, no.
Yeah. We vote Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ray says, yeah, and get all of our butts kicked. I say we vote for the man who called us here. And then Captain Marvel says, tag, you're it. Cool. Okay.
and Blue Beetle has to take a shot at him. When he first shows up, he's like, great. The fun really starts with Gardner around.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, wow. That's great. So we got a lot of versions here as well, because I see sort of a classic-looking Wonder Woman here. Mm-hmm. And then here she is...
That's Donna Troy.
Oh, it's Donna Troy. So Donna Troy is...
That's Wonder Girl.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's not the alternate version.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have... let's see here. So we're 17 hours and 3 minutes. The Justice Society arrives at Vanishing Point, and X-Stand immediately begins blasting them with chronal energy. And wow, look at this Hawkman. He's like EA. Yeah, that's great. Wave Rider shows the two Hawks how they are at the center of some of the problems and ramifications still being caused by the original crisis. The Hawks merge with the modern-day Hawkman and the Hawk God to form an entirely new being.
So that's how they cleaned up the Hawkman.
They Voltroned.
Yeah, basically.
Which is
they just jam them all together. The 2 different Hawkmans and a Hawk Girl. They just and a Hawk God. They just all jam them together
all
and make a new
woven
one.
into one. And he says, "The blast of cosmic energy. They're dying, all of them. No, this is Metron. It is a birth, and at least a powerful ally we need to turn to in the tide of our battle. At the most, a new god." So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then now 14 minutes and 1 minute ago on Cairn, Vril Dox of Legion determines that the time stream is falling apart and sends probes in to investigate. So it could be that ending is starting to like eat back, but maybe there's parts across time that are falling apart.
That's getting it as well.
That might be why Vandal Savage was eliminated so early. Now 14 hours ago in Supertown, right? Even the new gods themselves are terrified of the entropy as Highfather finds himself unable to feel the powers of the cosmos anymore. Right? And he's like, I just can't do it. I have cosmic Kyle dysfunction. It's a real thing. Okay. All right, then 13 hours and 59 minutes ago, the heroes discussed the chronal disruption with Wave Rider and whether or not they can determine who's real and who isn't.
The thing here. Guy looks at Kyle Rayner and says, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
And he says, "Green Lantern." And he goes, yeah, you and me got to talk.
Yeah, I'd like that, Mr. Gardner.
Yeah. But you get, you see the old school Aqualad.
Yeah.
You get Nightwing back when he had the ponytail.
Yeah.
In the old school costume. And this is where Superman says, I ran into quite a few different versions of Batman earlier. And Ray goes, cool.
Yeah. And then I guess Metamorpho is there as well.
Yeah, and I remember this, he was in some type of weird flux with his powers. And so he's like, he was just trapped in just a weird look. And he's like, okay, can I find a version that doesn't have this?
Remember when Thing grew extra rocks and stuff and he got spiky and that was
it's the same kind of thing. Like he's growing crystals out of his shoulders and his head is like a mist.
It's on fire. Yeah, right. All right, so now the Justice Society, 12 hours and 50 minutes ago, the Justice Society continues to fight Extant, but are grossly outmatched. He uses his powers to age them. The Atom is outright murdered, and Dr. Fate is defeated as well.
That's
Al Pratt.
Yeah,
right?
He kicks the crap out of the Justice Society here.
Well, they're old.
They are, and he ages them. That's the thing, because they've been through different means. They've been keeping themselves young.
Right.
He takes all that away. So now all of a sudden they're 80, 90 years old.
And they can't do anything.
And Ted Grant starts having a heart attack. So, they can't do anything to him. And Alan Scott's the only one that he doesn't steal his youth from him.
Right. He says, my ring protects me, but the rest of you. So they're all aged. 12 hours and 45 minutes ago from New York, Wave Rider feels the presence of Extant and is able to track him to Vanishing Point. He is too late to save most of the members of the Justice Society, as all of them except Alan Scott are aged to old men by Extant's powers.
But he basically, he didn't age Alan Scott, but he changed time to wear out his ring. So his charge is dead.
Oh, so he's worthless.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So now 12 hours, 42 minutes, a city from the 25th century, the home of Booster Gold, appears above New York City and begins slowly descending, about to crush everything. It's pretty awesome. And then
it's kind of weird for me. We'll go on, and I'll get to that in a second.
Okay. Metron explains that alternate timelines, past and future, true and false, are all merging within the present. So we're going to have like we had New Earth, we're going to have New Time.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got the sort of ending part of the issue here. And this is where we're going to stop. We're going to do a two-parter for this 0 hour because it's a crisis and it's pretty condensed.
It's pretty big, yeah.
So Extant causes Alan Scott's power ring to suddenly lose all its charge, as you mentioned, after putting the JSA into stasis to stabilize them. He's able to at least preserve them with his ring before the charge goes away. And then Wave Rider confronts Extant. He is shocked when Extant unmasks himself and reveals the face identical to that of Wave Rider's own.
Yeah.
Look familiar.
Yeah.
And that is where that issue ends. And then next week, Tim, we're going to come back with part 3, and that'll be I believe issue 2. And we'll start there, and we'll do 2, 1, and 0 to wrap it up.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that's the break on it.
That's the end of it. Okay.
So, pretty cool. I mean, it has some of the same problems that Crisis on Infinite Earths had.
Yeah.
Random characters, it's like, but what's the point of this? I'm wondering what's
exactly. And that's the thing that always got me about Armageddon 2001. Even if you take out the fact of that it was supposed to be Captain Atom and then they changed it. You use Hawk. Hawk is like a sea-level hero.
Yeah.
And actually, I think at some point somebody, there we go. Yeah. Alan Scott actually says to him, No. I don't know if that's supposed to be Alan Scott or Wave Rider saying it. But because he says, "Don't call me that. Don't call me that. I'm more than Monarch ever was. I am extant." And one of them, it's hard to tell exactly who it's pointing to. That's
a 2-bit hero. That has to be Alan Scott because of the 40s speak.
Yeah, he says, "You're Hawk, an ex-2-bit hero whose lust for power grew out of control." That's exactly it. He's not he's like a C-level hero, and you're using him. We're supposed to accept him as this big bad.
Well, I mean, we've seen this before, where like the middle of the road type of hero like kind of gets into some badness and then sort of has a lust for power and all that stuff, and it grows, and that's understandable. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the story's good. I think it sort of moves the universe along a little bit, but I hope it wraps up well. I mean, I can't wait for the Parallax scene when Hal Jordan comes into the mix.
Yeah, he pops up with his big shoulder pads.
That's going to be great. I'm excited about that. Yeah, shoulder pads are fun.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fun to go back because this was like my heyday of when I was reading. So all the stuff that I'm looking at is like, oh yeah, I remember this. That look. It has a look to the comics.
It really does. This was like I've got the printed edition. You got the digital.
Yeah.
This was like the last time that like matte paper, like a cold pressed paper, right, that doesn't have a shiny surface on it.
It's not gloss. Yeah.
Had the digital color on it.
Yeah.
Right, because the color on here is clearly Photoshop. I mean, you can tell. But like, and even the skill in coloring is lower.
Yeah.
Than like what you see today. I mean, it's just kind of.
It's more of the four color look.
Still going on, right. Yeah. I think with newsprint or those types of pages, you have to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. So, the digital printing hadn't come along yet. So.
No.
Yeah.
So this has been your Misty Borderland bartender at Vanishing Point. Welcome to Vanishing Point.
Yeah.
Norm.
It's Vanishing. Yeah, that needs to become the
Vanishing Point Cafe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So.
Tip your Time Lord.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that is our Exploring the Multiverse segment on our part 1 of 0 Hour.
Yes.
Before we get out of here, we want to give you our picks of the week. What you got for your picks?
Okay. I'm so sorry. The last 2 times I've gone to Heroes, none of my books are in.
Oh, that sucks.
Like it's everything's on hiatus.
Oh, okay.
I am like borderline depressed.
You're in DTs.
So I've got nothing, Tim. There's nothing that I could recommend right now that is so amazing that would just. So you have to save us. Save us.
I got this.
Good.
The one that we talked about earlier, Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That sounds cool.
That's coming out today. I'm really looking forward to reading that. That's what I'm looking forward to. And also there's a series from Image called Faster Than Light. It's a like a science fiction series. And this is a synopsis for number 1. In the very near future, we discovered the secret of faster than light travel. Suddenly, the universe is wide open to us, but are we ready for it? With all the idealism of the original Star Trek and grit and immediacy of Gravity, the story of humanity's first thrilling and terrifying adventures to the stars takes flight. It's a very, very good series. And there's 2 different missions, one on the books and one off. And they're
I see. Okay, so one's an official mission,
exactly.
And the other one is like
and they're
in the abyss when the guys take out the nuclear warhead.
Yeah, they're in communication with each other, and they actually find a new planet in the solar system that we never knew existed.
This sounds great.
Yeah, it's a very good series. You should check it out. I think issue 3 comes out today. That's what reminded me to throw that in because I've been reading it for a while. No, it doesn't come out. It must have come out like last week or something. But I think we're on issue 3 now. But it's a very good series. You should definitely check it out. And see who the story and art is by Brian Haberlin. Well, it says story by Brian Haberlin, art by Brian Haberlin, and art by Gerard Van Dyke. So apparently they split the art chores on there.
Maybe on the missions.
Maybe, yeah. but it's a very good series. It has a great sci-fi feel to it.
Cool.
It's really fun.
I've been enjoying the Black Science series. Well, I did early on. That's also an Image title. It's basically Swiss Family or Lost in Space type of thing, but like people die.
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes.
And they jump from planet to planet.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool.
Okay, well that's cool. Yeah, I might have to check that out too. So
it sounds a little similar. So
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So, but that's our picks, or at least my picks for the week.
Yeah, you pick them all. You pick them and flick them.
And it's gonna wrap things up for this week's edition of the Ninja Troll Digicast. Remember, for all the latest news from all around geek culture, make sure you follow us on social media: Facebook.com/Ninja Troll Digicast,
on Twitter @Ninja Troll Show,
and Instagram @Ninja Troll Digicast.
We're on the YouTubes at youtube.com/C/Ninja Troll Digicast.
And you can always visit us at NinjaTrollDigicast.com. And while you're there, click on the subscribe to iTunes button to get the Ninja Troll on iTunes. And make sure you join us next week. Same Ninja time, same Ninja channel.
You've been listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Tune in next time when you'll hear Mike say,
the Lord Jehovah, has given unto you these 15, 10 commandments for all to obey.
This is the Ninja Troll Digicast, the defenders of all things geek culture.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.